Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you all here today. Hello, hello. Okay, so I'm going to say hello to everyone. See everyone's doing a little bit. And then I'm going to bring on my guest. I'm really excited. Let's see. Hello, Laura, the parent mod. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Mikey, it's good to see you. Hopefully you'll be here. Oh, you're hooked on Miss Creepy Tales. Hell yeah. Heart right back at you, Mags. Hope you managed to come back to the stream. I'm doing good, Sharon. Hope you're doing good too. One of my beloved channel members. Hello, hello. Azarath, hello. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Grizzly. Welcome. Good to see you too. Rooster, hello. Welcome. Emily, my favorite vampire. It's good to see you. Some Morse code ASMR starting up. I mean, look, maybe. Maybe. Hello, Adams. Welcome, Adams. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. Hell yeah, how is everyone? Oh, Mags is here. Hello, Mags. Hang on, I'm gonna use the other chat because I can't see it. Hang on. Just a moment. So, I hope you guys have some questions. I have questions for my guests. Enhance. Enhance. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to bring them on. Please, everyone, say hello. You two can unmute yourselves now and say hello. Oh, wait. That was my... Okay, say hello again.
Okay. Hello. This is Zithero.
Mimi?
Hi.
Okay.
Hello. My name is Mimi.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
How are you doing today, ladyspookariayt?
I'm doing good. I hope you two are doing good too.
We're doing very good. We actually just posted another chapter today on our subreddit of our ongoing story, so we're doing great.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alright, so... Okay, which one of you two wants to go first?
I'll go first. So greetings, everybody.
I was gonna say, Zithero, go first because I can't see the YouTube channel.
So
Okay.
I'm Zithero, also known as Jordan or the Titan, and I am one of the authors of the Guardian Temple series, as well as a number of NoSleep stories in the same universe. And yeah, here we are with ladyspookariayt and my brilliant co-author Mimi.
Okay, Mimi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. Okay. Well, my name is Mimi, and I write with Zithero. We both write on the Guardian Temple, and we also wrote another book called Night and Day as well.
No.
Which I believe there's how many books on that one?
So
Zithero? Is that?
that's two books on Library of Shadows. And Library of Shadows, as much as I'd love to link it right now, is still private due to the Reddit strike. So unfortunately, that one
Oh
is
no.
a little in lock and key at the moment, but eventually, hopefully, all that blows over.
Hopefully. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Hello,
I mean, already
September. Oh,
top.
sorry. Hello, September. My
Oh,
favorite. Oh no, wait.
sorry. Sorry. No, do not. Sorry.
It's so good. It
You
happens.
know me. I don't give a talk.
It happens sometimes. So wait. Adam has a question. What is your opinion on the color mahogany?
Color
I'm sorry.
mahogany.
It's just a random question by one of my mods.
Oh, what was it?
What is your
The
opinion?
color mahogany.
Oh, sorry. What is your...
Mahogany? That's one of my favorite movies with Diana Ross. That's all I can say.
No, the color.
Oh, I love the color.
Nice.
I'm
I
trying
love
to
the
think of. I'm trying to think of the color mahogany. All I can think of is like the wood desks,
Mm.
and in my head the word conjures up from Team 4-Star that, you know, mahogany. That's
He got a good one because that's one of my favorite movies, Mahogany.
Nice.
I love it, but I love the color as well.
Hello, Hunter. Welcome to the stream. All right. So, how many series do you two have?
if I had to count them, so
Okay,
honestly, I'll let
technically
let
there's
Mimi
two
handle
books.
that.
There's two books. There is the Guardian Temple, and that's one series. Okay, that's okay. If we lump it all together, that's one series, but that comes out to a lot of books. And then we have another one called Night and Day, and that is about how many books, Zithro? That's about
That's
3 or 4 books.
that's at the moment. Night and
That's
Day is about 2 books, but they're, as far as chapters are concerned, it's about 30 chapters each.
Mm,
But if I had
but
to go, yeah, as far as our as far as NoSleep series, if you were to say break it down, because when we say the Guardian Temple book, what we're referring to, because all of the stories that we've ever posted on NoSleep are all interconnected into one overarching story. So we consider those several books. But the series themselves, if we were to say how many series, it's almost it's at least 30.
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
I would say there's more than that. Like the first book, it's called Demon. One moment. Oh my God, Demonic
Demonic
Healing.
dealings. Yes, demonic
Demonic
dealings.
Healing. It has 3 stories on there, and it's of Father Thomas, Sarah Baker, and Jason Miller, of each of their point of views. But as we delve deeper, it goes into, oh my God, if we continue writing the books like that, it could be, oh my God, like a lot of books. That's might be, how many is it though? Maybe 30, 40, maybe more,
It depends how we
right?
pace it out, but it could, as they release, and as we put them out, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be. It depends how we stack them, because the first book that we have that we just published, Demonic Dealings, is in the Guardian Temple series, and it has the first. I'm not gonna say the first because it's actually missing the first, but the first two, I'd say 2 or 3 series. So it's actually 3 series that we put on NoSleep. We added some stuff that couldn't go onto NoSleep for whatever reason, and so that's book 1, and then again we probably have. I'm not sure how many books we would end up publishing. It would be an ongoing series, but with Queen, it's probably over 30 as far as content's concerned. But we have a ways to go for publishing all of them.
Nice. Oh my God. I knew you guys had a lot of stories together, but I didn't realize there was so many.
It's
Yeah.
a lot.
On the table of contents, it's a lot, a lot, a lot. We always have to update it all the time. We're having a little trouble with that, but having to update it, that is a big job in itself right there, because that's how many stories there are. It's a lot, and it takes a lot out of us doing the like the read throughs and stuff.
Mm.
It takes a lot, like just the writing and everything. That's hard enough, but also when we go through the read throughs, especially on certain subjects, I want to say, it can be very, very difficult for us.
Understandably.
For me, especially, like I'll take it real hard, and then Zithero will be like, "I didn't see it like that." I said, "Yes, look, this, and this," and then he's like, "Wait a minute, I don't want to be another." Oh, sorry, I don't want to say the name. A certain author that just kills off all his characters and stuff. So, you know, I'm like,
Dun,
you gotta
dun,
say it
dun,
like
dun,
that.
dun, 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 dun. What?
Yeah,
Huh?
we all know who you're talking about. So Azarath is asking, what's the deal with NoSleep at the moment and that they can't get in? Is that the blackout thing?
Yeah, I think that's part of the blackout. I've followed the Reddit snafu a little bit. So this strike is going on because the Reddit is essentially, I mean, we're not on Reddit, so I can kind of speak fairly freely here. The Reddit CEO seems to want to really, really follow in Twitter's footsteps and wants to get rid of all the third-party apps that browse the site and charge a lot of money for them. And as a result, they're kind of shutting down, what's the word I'm looking for? They're shutting down a lot of accessibility and third-party apps that people like. And now some of the mods are still striking. It was originally a 2-day strike, and now, like, I think NoSleep is still striking. I'm not 100%. I know Library of Shadows has gone private, and that's where our of Night and Day is. As far as NoSleep, if they went back to dark, it wouldn't shock me.
Okay. Hello, Hasafel. Welcome to the stream. Adam says, an author that kills off their characters? You mean Lady Spookaria's survival in the waste? I'm being called out.
No.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. No. I meant someone else. Someone evil. Really evil. Really, really evil. Lady Spookaria is cool. So no, not Lady Spookaria. No.
It's so good.
She's really cool, guys. She's really cool.
There's a time and a place for certain characters to go, and it can't be done frivolously. Otherwise, it loses its value. That's the way that Mimi and I have always attacked that subject.
Okay, so I'm going to begin with the interrogation. I mean questions. Hey, Adam! I see what you're saying in my chat. He said, someone really, really evil, so Lady Spookaria, gotcha.
That's
No,
very
this is
racist
more
towards
than Spookaria than
towards.
I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. I cannot see
that's very
what they're
racist
saying.
towards whichever entities that we are in the company of.
Demon, thank you.
Yes, there we go.
I was gonna say I cannot see what they're saying in the on the channel on account of the fact that it'll sound like double. For me, it'll echo. Sorry, not sound double. Oh my god, I can't even tell.
Hang on. Hang on. I could. I'm trying to find you the link that would work for you. Hang on, just a second. All right, so you can go to this link so you can like stalk the chat. Just, here you go. So it's just the chat. It's nothing else. It's
all of us laughing.
That
Aentropic. Adam, I'm gonna smack you.
What is Adam saying? Let me see. Adam, I'm coming for you.
Adam said towards vampires. So there's this running joke that Adam has where he thinks I'm a vampire, but I'm a demon. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. No one holds that against you.
Thank you. So
there are good demons and bad demons. I should know.
What can you tell us about your series? Actually, like just a general idea of each one. I think that'll be cool.
Okay. Well, I'll start with Father Thomas because I know that Mimi is going to want to speak volumes about the second series. So the story that we have opens up with seemingly, I'll say quote unquote, an innocent premise where, you know, we have a little priest who suddenly gets a summoning from the Vatican. He is an exorcist, and they basically say, hey, we're going to summon up a demon, and we'd really like if you were here to, you know, help us contain it. And from there out, we discover quite a bit about demons and the workings or mechanisms going on in hell at the time of the summoning. And that leads us to the main character of this particular story, which is Sarah Baker, who is
Remember that name, Sarah Baker.
yes, who became a NoSleep hit when the story came out. She is a succubus, so she is a demon. So you'd relate, Lady Spookariayt. And basically, when she's summoned on Earth, she has to deal with a few things, meaning mostly being that it's been 30 years since she was last there, and you know, basically escape the Vatican and the forces that are coming after her. And I'll let Mimi go on about Sarah.
You already said everything. What am I gonna say now? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. The thing about Sarah Baker is she starts off, you know, and like that. Okay, we're talking about the book, The Demonic Dealings. Okay, on hers, that's one of my favorite ones because Sarah Baker, she starts off as a little mousy girl, you know, and she has what is that ALS? What is
Yes.
that? Yes. Okay.
Lou Gehrig's disease.
I had to take a drink of water before I said something wrong. Okay, sorry. And then you both know me, you know how I am. So, and so she makes a deal with an angel, which turns out pretty bad for her. And, you know, she starts to find her way, you know, like they tell her, okay, it's kind of like making a deal with, okay, she makes a deal with an angel, but what he doesn't say is that he's a fallen angel. Okay. And no matter what she does, you know, she's not going to get anywhere. He says, I'm going to borrow your soul. But he ends up coming to claim it anyway. And Sarah Baker was supposed to be the one to, let's see, she's from, what year? We always get confused on the year. I believe she died like when she's 21. But the thing about her is that she was the one that was supposed, if she had never made the deal, she was the one that was supposed to cure cancer, AIDS, you know, diabetes, all these diseases, everything. She was meant for more. So when she's taken, you know, Lucifer takes one look at her and he's like, oh my God, like, you know, you took one of my fathers. She's not supposed to be here. And, you know, she's stuck in hell, and she makes the best of a horrible situation. I love her because she's real sassy, and you know, she's a smart ass. And it's so funny because before she died, she had a baby. Okay, and she's just a great character. She has so many layers to her, you know. Like when she first comes out on the first series of the book, they expect this big demon to come out, and here comes out this demure little, and he said succubus, but it comes out a beautiful girl, you know, and she's got hooves and some like bat wings, and she's like, ouch, stop it, and she's got this Boston accent, and they're like, oh my God, what kind of a demon is this? They expected her to speak Latin, and they're like, tell us your name, demon. And she's like, it's Sarah Baker. Okay. But she says a lot of bad words, okay? And I don't know who she reminds me of, but someone. And she says a lot of bad words. And they're like, what kind of a name is Sarah Baker? She's like, well, it's not like my mom thought. You know, my mom thought I was going to be a demon. You know, she named me because she knew I was going to be a demon. And, you know, she surprises everyone. She's one of those people that is always handed, like the worst thing that can happen to anyone, but she tries to make the best of the situation. She's just one of those people. It always comes out bad. She's given a task after when she escapes from hell. She's given when she's summoned to the Vatican, she's given a task, but she doesn't pay attention, to Lucifer's words, and she decides to go and visit her family and stuff instead of doing that. And that's where book 3 the part 3, the third series comes out. And she thinks she's been in hell for like how many years? Zithero?
She thinks she's only been in there for basically because of how it's torment. It's not a great place. It's hell. So she's actually thinks she's been in there for like a century. When she comes out and finds out it's only been like a couple decades, she kind of has a little she freaks out, goes basically into like a berserker state and escapes. And from there, that's when she runs and decides, well, if it's 30 years, I can go find my family. And that's what the book follows.
Nice.
The thing about, I don't know if I can say this, but the thing about Sarah Baker is that even in hell, she is able to find hope, among other things. And she inspires a few of the other people, the tortured souls that are there, and someone really high up, not Lucifer, she's able to see things through innocent eyes, I guess. She keeps a lot of her humanity even while she's in hell, and that's the good thing about her, that it's in most people, you go to hell and you have these powers, you can do whatever you want and hurt whoever you want, but she doesn't do that. She's like just having, I don't want to say just having fun, but she's looking to try to get higher up, but not she doesn't fight dirty, okay? She tries to help everyone, which is something that a lot of people don't do in hell, in this world. They don't do that, but Sarah Baker does. It's just in her nature. That's not to say that she's the nicest demon in the world, but she has her moments, where she can be kind to another demon or, to someone. And she actually makes one, it's Forcus, right? Is it
Forcus is, yes. Yeah, Forcus is one of the demons whom she kind of turns befriends, we'll say that.
Yes.
Without revealing much.
Because in hell, I think some of the worst you can feel is like hope and love. And, you can't really even say God's name, anything like that. Or Lucifer gets you. And by the way, I just have to say one thing. I know it's probably not a good thing to say, but, and this I've been told by a lot of my friends that have gotten the book, they're like, oh my God, Lucifer is so sexy. I was like, thank you.
He was a very beautiful angel.
It's so funny because when we're doing everything and it was like, I was like, oh my God, he's so sexy. He's really sexy and really beautiful, okay? That I can say about him. He's not the nicest person in the world, but he's very sexy.
Okay.
That is just something about him. Now okay, sorry. Did someone ask a question? Am I talking too much?
I'm just trying to move along to another question because you're giving away the entire plot. I want people to read it. I want people to buy the book.
Oh, and that's the thing. That's the thing that I haven't even said almost anything. Once you read the book, you'll be like, oh man, she didn't even say anything. Look at that. I'm telling you that Sarah Baker is something else. And I honestly, I really haven't said, I've said some things, but I haven't said a lot. I haven't said everything.
I'd have been jumping in otherwise. Yes.
He would have been jumping in otherwise. So
Okay.
I've only said pretty much surface level stuff.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, giving it all away.
No, no, no.
Um,
No. There's a lot of things that I left out and everything. Otherwise, Zithero would have just muted me himself.
oh no. All
He would
right.
have said in Spanish, "Yeah, shh, be quiet." Oh my God, that would have been so funny.
So
Mhm.
how did you two meet and then agree to start writing together?
Um,
We've we've known each other forever.
yeah,
But
it's been. Go on, go on. Sorry, you take this
okay.
one.
Zithero wrote something one time a while back. It was I forgot the name of it right now, but the thing was that I fell in love with his writing and his style of writing. Okay, and the thing was that he had wrote a few things that, how do I put this? Uh, this is really strange. Hard. This is a tough question right here, but I'll answer it. It's okay. I ain't afraid of no question. No, okay. No, and he wrote something that reminded me of some, like, it's kind of like something that I would always say, something that I lived by,
Mhm.
and it was too many things that were very similar, to things that had happened in my life and that he wrote about. And so I was like, he scared me the first time, and it's the truth. He scared me. And then I went up to him, I was like, hey, like, like I read this book of yours and this and that. And then we started talking and talking, and then we just started writing together. At first, I didn't want to put my name on there at all, nothing. So
But
it was just him. But then he started, I would just say, no, number one fan. I started coming out a little bit out of my shell. And
eh,
I was like, I bet you Lady Spokariayt is saying right now, you were in a shell?
Yeah,
No, I'm
that's
just
what I'm thinking.
I know that's what you're thinking. I know this.
Oh, by the way, everyone, this is her shy. By the way.
This is me being very, very shy.
yes, um, I actually insisted on her putting the name on because it was I say co-author now because it first started where she was like, "Oh, let me help you edit, let me help you do this and that," and before I knew it, she was contributing as much to the story as I was, shaping plot points and characters. And I will just say this: it really helps when you're writing a mostly female cast to have a female input in your writing. I'll just put it like that.
But he's very good. I can tell Zithero something, like I can tell him, okay, look, like sometimes we'll use it's a strange thing to say, but especially in a book like this, but I can tell him, look, this and this happened in my life, and this is the way it happened, and I'll give it to him, like the short version, and then I'll tell him, let's see what you come up with. I started doing that to him a lot,
Hmm.
and then he would come up with something so beautiful, and I would be
You,
like, wow. I was like, oh my God.
they were basically
I
writing assignments.
but it was funny because I could just give him just a little something and be like, look, this and this happened. Okay. And this is how we dealt with it. And, like so and so cried about this or that. It could be anything. It could be something as simple as, oh, look, I went to the store to get milk and there was a car accident. And I witnessed something like that. And I would tell him, and he would make it into something so beautiful. And
I'm
then I'd
blushing.
go
You can't
in,
see it, but I'm blushing.
but he's very, very good. He's great actually. That's the right word for it because he is. The way he writes, it's so out there. It's like for example, me personally, I have read thousands of books. Okay, thousands. And people say, "Oh, where do you get the time?" Well, I get the time. I make the time. I always have a book in my hand. And the thing about Zithero is that the way his style and the way that he writes is very, very different. You think like let's say for a boxer, for example, you think he's gonna swing, with his left, give you a left hook or something. But not Cithro. He'll come at you and he'll come from he'll punch you from top of your head and stuff like that. He just knocks you out with the way he writes. He's so good. He's really good. I had to up my ante to be able to keep up with him a lot because he's great. He really, really is.
Well,
And oh
thank you
my,
for the
sorry,
glowing
this is
review. I'm blushing.
no,
I'm blushing. You
it is
can't
the
see it.
truth.
We can hear
I'm
it.
just stating facts. Okay.
Mm,
So yes, it was a privilege to, when we started going together and writing and everything together. It was a privilege, and I didn't want to put my name because I was like, no, I get real shy and stuff like that. And I know right now I'm talking and everything, I don't seem shy, but I get shy. And that's why I'm not even looking in the YouTube. I'll go in there and I'll like it, but no, also it'll sound double. But still, but that's one thing about Zithro. He's a great, great writer, okay? That no one can take that away from him, no matter what. He's fantastic and a great, great, great partner. When we do a story together, I'll be like, we'll go over something, and then I'll tell him, okay, look, like let's do it like this, and then we'll go through it. Oh my God, I always make fun because I'll tell him, okay, look, we're gonna do this, and then he goes, okay, and he'll write something down as we go through the documents, right? And then I'll get like one word in. He'll change it around to make it sound real nice and everything. I'm like, oh my God, look at that. I got a whole word in there. It says and.
So,
Because the way he writes, it's so beautiful. It really is.
so like,
mm.
It's I'm sorry.
it's okay. I'm like,
I'll stop talking.
you
I'll
know,
stop talking.
it's so good. So like, I've always had trouble writing with another person. So how do you two manage any disagreements?
Basically, the way we manage it is we talk it out for the most part, but it's the way that we write is okay, and we've
It's
had
like
this
we have one
happen.
mind.
Yeah, sometimes it's we have one mind. Other times it's like we have about 8, and the reason is because
Mhm.
we write very character focused stories. So it's not so much that it's like, oh hey, we're gonna have this character go into this situation. It's it's more like, oh, the character just did this, and we can't stop them. So yeah,
Mhm.
there's a few characters like that.
uh, like Eris, goddess of chaos. She just starts and she doesn't stop. Because that she'll be talking and then she'll start like narrating, and then her sister's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Hey, the narrator can do it. Why can't I do it?" She's a little out there. Okay, she's a lot out there.
Alright,
That's all I can say.
Yes.
Oh my God.
hey Mikey, welcome to the stream. Mikey's lurking and listening in. Ooh, Azarath has a question for you two.
Okay.
Okay.
Any music that you guys like that inspire your writings or aesthetic?
Okay. I'll grab this real
Yes
quick.
and no.
So it depends. There are some music that definitely inspires. If it's a big battle scene, I am turning up the metal, and I'm putting up the heavy metal and such. That's my aesthetic for the most part. I'm a big weeb, so I like big grandiose fight scenes when they're appropriate and things like that. So I'll listen to like big theme music, orchestrals and things like that. If I'm in a writing mood, I'm just usually listening to orchestrals of some kind, depending on what I'm listening to. If we need to make ourselves cry, however, if it's a
That's
sad
right.
scene, that's Mimi's taste immediately kicks in, and we start throwing we start throwing the sad music out, or the gut wrenching music out, and okay, so I'd lie if I didn't say I hadn't written at least 1 or 2 scenes to the Doom theme song. So
Oh, nice. Doom theme song, very good.
I listen to Queen.
Oh, nice. Queen's good too.
I listen to a lot of well, I would say Freddie Mercury, especially after that movie, but you know, that's just me as one of the biggest Queen fans in the world, okay? And the thing is that I'll listen to Queen, but sometimes I will listen to Spanish music. Well, I'm Hispanic, so I like I'll say, for example, one of the saddest moments in all of the history of the Guardian Temple. Okay, there's a song, and it's like, how do I put this? Hispanics play this song at funerals. Okay, so in order to get Zithero into that level of of despair, okay, I don't want to say grief, despair, that's the
mm,
word. In order to get him into it, I had to translate this song for him and tell him, look, this and this is what she's saying. I can even tell you the name of the song. It is called Amor Eterno, Eternal Love. And it's by a woman named Rocio Durcal, right? And it's called, a lot of people call it the mother's song. It's about a woman that she went on a trip to Acapulco and she went to the beach with her son. Her son went into the water, but he never came out. But
Oh.
and so when they pulled him out, he had passed away. This is a song, okay? Think about that. And she's saying about how she wished he had never closed his little eyes, and how she has suffered from the moment he died to this day, that she can't wait to be with him forever. It's one of the most beautiful songs ever written, and it was written by a man named Juan Gabriel. And it's strange because in the story, the archangel Gabriel comes down and he starts singing that song. Anybody that has
they
read any of the stories, they will know exactly what I'm talking about. He comes down and he's singing that song right there. And it's such a beautiful moment. Okay, I'm going to give us up right here, Zithero, okay?
uh-oh.
We cried for 2 months. Two
Oh my.
months.
Oh.
Okay.
It was
Now,
it was a lot of emotion we poured into that scene, into that
I'll
chapter, I
be
should
honest.
say.
I'll, I'll be honest. Or should I be honest on this one or not?
I mean,
Say the truth?
honesty is the best policy.
Okay. I lost my brother. Okay. And, you know, like when something like that happens, everybody, they're like, hey, why isn't the world crying? You want the world to stop and to cry with you. So this was very cathartic for me because I was able to put it into the story, and then with this song and everything. So it was like a lot of people, when they read this story, they started crying, and it made me feel good because it was like, okay, I don't know how to explain it, but the emotions, everything that I put in there was exactly how I felt when my brother passed away. So that's like a real thing that happened. You want me to say the name of the story? I might as well. It's The Sniper, and
Oh,
it's The Sniper, and it's
that's on the Guardian Temple.
on
That's
the
the
Guardian
chapter.
Temple,
Yeah.
and
Writing.
it's
Oh.
called The Sniper. And the song is in there. It's in blue, and it's got the lyrics and everything. And it's so weird because I didn't even notice that Juan Gabriel, very famous Mexican writer and singer, was the one that wrote this song for this woman. And it's a very, very beautiful song. Oh man, I don't even. Uh, Zithero, is there any way you can put that song so that with the lyrics and everything so that they can hear it, how beautiful it is? Well, if they read the sniper from the thing, they'll freak out. But it's a true thing that happened. Like the death of your brother, like a brother. It's
Mhm.
so it was very gut wrenching. It took us 2 months. I couldn't even comment. I couldn't say anything. But then when I saw everybody else and they were like, "Oh my God, did you have to do that to us?" Like they were crying. So that made me not. I don't want to be like, I don't want to say like, "Oh, that made me feel good. I made them cry." No, not like that. It just made me feel like, okay, they know what it feels like because it was able to sort of lift a lot of that heavy weight off of my shoulders.
and
So and go
and
on. You
and
were
tr-
saying, baby?
and transposing those emotions into the story really helped out. Um, it
Mm.
pushed it to the next level. So that's really what that where so music 100%
Yeah.
yes influences a lot of what we do. Especially in the more emotional scenes. So yes, 100%.
Oh, that
Let
sounds
me.
so like just and adding the music and everything in. I know
We
it
did
sounds
it
like an intense
in.
story, and a sad
We
Yes,
one.
did it
yes.
in blue. I always tell Zithro, put the song in blue. I say, put blue, blue, blue. And a lot of people thought the song was in Latin because Archangel Gabriel was always singing Hallelujah. But in this
Mhm.
one, he sang the song Amor Eterno. It's called Eternal Love. Rocío Durcal, yes. And then, so anyway, if you want to type that in there, I was gonna say Titan Zithero, you can do it.
If you
But
post,
it is.
if you post it in the in the chat thing, I can like put it in.
Okay.
Oh, I'm trying to find because if I go through the thing, I'll sound
I,
out all
I've
echoey.
got a
I think I
couple. I've
talk
got a
enough.
couple monitors.
I sound all echoey. Yeah, I was gonna say, can you type it in there so they can see it? But the one that goes that
From
says the
Juan
lyrics,
Gabriel.
it is just yeah, but no, Rocío Durcal.
Mhm.
Remember she sings it and it's got the
Uh,
English lyrics, the
oh
translation,
yes. Yep. Yep.
and it's one of those songs that Hispanics use, and we have like a lot of Hispanic people. Well, I'm Hispanic. I'm Mexican. Okay, I'm from Texas, born in Texas, everything, but still, I'm Mexican. Mexican American, I guess that's the way I can say it, right? So anyway, and the thing was that all of all the other people, everyone else that was reading it, they were like, "Oh, he was singing in Latin, this and that." And then it was like all the Hispanics, they were like, oh my God, I didn't know, that Zithero was that he was Hispanic. And I was like, it's not him, it's me. I'm Hispanic. I was like, it's me. And it was so funny. But they were like, oh my God, that they were like they went crazy over that one. I got a lot of private messages of people, they were saying, like the song. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say specifics or anything of who it was, but I received a lot of private messages of people saying, "Oh my God!" Like I've never seen, like a death scene that was so realistic and carried so much emotion with the perfect song. Now, I will say one thing about that one. That one, it always stands out in my mind. If you ever ask me which one is your favorite, I'll say the sniper because here's the funny part is that Zithero wanted to kill off.
We don't
You
have to
asked
talk
about
about
her,
who I
okay?
wanted to kill off.
He wanted to kill off a certain character. And I was like, no. I was like, no. Okay, by
Hang
the
on,
way,
just a
I was
sec.
saying that earlier too, wasn't I?
just a, s- just a, s- just a second. Hello, Jensen. Is this the Death Note music? No.
Oh my.
Laura says, a lesson here. Small details matter in writing. And I posted the link. I think I answered everything.
100%. Yes,
They
100%.
do, and that is very, very true. Um, example. Okay, like I don't know if are we only supposed to talk about the book or can we talk about the whole Guardian
Oh,
Temple?
no, it's everything.
Everything? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
basically you two are being
Okay,
interviewed,
good.
so like whatever you really want to talk about and things like it's
Okay.
yeah, it's all
What
good.
I would like to talk about is see, because I've been kind of just trying to stay real quiet, okay, and I'm being
Wait.
shy,
You
mind you,
have?
everyone,
You
okay?
have?
Yeah, that you know me, of course I'm being shy and quiet.
No,
Okay,
when
one of
I was so
I'm
worried at
sorry.
first. I was like, because Zithero was saying that you were really shy, and I'm like, oh no, okay, I'm gonna have to like really kind of poke Mimi to talk a bit. Like, okay, and that hasn't been the case at
Wait,
all.
you're gonna have to put the little minutes and everything on there. Uh-oh, ladies Bukaria and Mimi laughing. We'll have to just erase that right there. No, okay. Oh my God. No, the thing is that there's a character, okay? Her name is Ragna. She
Mm.
is Lucifer's daughter, okay? And the thing about her is that she comes off as real hard, you know? She's got long black hair, violet eyes. And the thing about the Guardian Temple that I personally love, okay,
Mhm.
is that Zithro, okay, you know, based in New York and I'm based in Texas, but you know, he comes to Texas. So, okay, so anyway, the thing about it is that it all it starts a lot of the people that are in the book, it is mostly how do I put this? Okay, it's people, it's all genders, okay? All genders including let me see. There's people that are well, obviously a succubus, so yes, you know, she's into always having sex and everything. Oh, I'm not going too far. If I am, just give me a little poke. But then there
So she's
is Gabriel, who is he doesn't identify with either male or female, you know?
it's mostly yeah.
And
So and this is something writing for a non-binary character was interesting. A lot of habits I had to break in that.
I'm gonna tell
And
you right now, Zithro is the one that he keeps up with all those words and everything. Because me, I'll be like, oh no, this and that. Now I'm not that I'm trying to be rude, but I say, you know, the people that don't identify with being male or female, I'll be like that. And he's the one that corrects me, and he's like, they're what did you say? What was the name?
non-binary.
It was non-binary. Okay, yes, there you go. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't say it in a rude way or anything, but it's funny because let me see. There's a lot of Hispanics. Okay, a lot of Hispanics. The main
Y-
characters are Hispanic, black, and let me see. Where's Fatima from, baby?
Fatima is from
And Yusuf?
Afghanistan. Afghani.
Okay,
She's
it's
Afghani. So
the
it's
thing
a lot
about
of
it.
big culture. There's
It's
a lot of culture.
it's all these different cultures, everything, and you know, it's like what a main character that comes out in there is Gorke. Everybody loves Gorke, you know, and he I was gonna say es hondureño. I was gonna say like that, but he's Honduran, okay? And a lot of people really like him. There's a lot of like Hispanics from different locations, you know. Because okay, there's that from Puerto Rico. There's some from let's see, a lot from South America, Portuguese, you know, and let me see. What did you say? Afghanistan? Is that what you said?
Well, that's Fatima's from Afghanistan, and we have a few a big part where Ragna shows up. She ends up. I know it's kind of a play on words, so to speak, but we one of the key stories is based in Penthesil. This is a city of Amazon women in the Amazon, so it's in Colombia. So there's a lot of like Colombian and Latin influences in the culture and those characters as well. So yeah, that was one of our biggest one of our biggest stories was actually the Penthesilian story,
Colombia
which I didn't.
or Amazon
Hmm?
is like real, where they speak Portuguese.
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
some would, we like a
Yeah.
lot spoke Portuguese and a
It's
lot
kind of
spoke
like a hidden
Spanish.
city. It's a hidden city, you know, and it's all these females that what's the word? They're matriarch, something like that. What's
They're a matriarchy of
you see
obviously.
that?
So it's
You see, that's how I get it because, and we have people that are okay. Let's say, for example, Rasper. He's like all tough, manly, all cool and everything. He's a Titan, but he's gay. And then there is Ragna, Lucifer's daughter. She's also gay. Okay, and then there's her daughter, and she is what's the word for Zeph, baby?
asexual.
She's asexual,
So
and
she's
obviously Sarah Baker is very sexual because I mean she's a succubus. But it's all the different cultures. I mean, like Sarah Baker, she's white, she's from Boston, she's got that thick Boston accent and everything. So it's oh my god, it's I don't know. It's if you ever wanted to see or read a book or anything like that that had every culture, everything, and every what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe okay, from
representation, I
the
guess you could say, for LGBTQ as
this
well.
Your
yeah.
your series is
I
very
always say
diverse.
look, I don't mean
Yes.
to be rude, but I always make a joke. I always because they're always adding letters, so I'm like yes, the LGBT because Zithero asked me, he goes, "What do you think of the Q?" I said QRSTUV. I said like that, but because I'm always joking. But then he goes, "No, I'm talking about the LGBTQ." And then I was like, "Oh shit, sorry." I was like, "Oops." Okay, but you know how to put it. I wasn't trying to put anyone down right there. I just thought that it was funny because the Q. I don't even know what it stands for. But everybody in the book, I mean, there are couples, straight couples, but there are also gay couples, and the main character, one of the biggest characters, she's that's Lucifer's daughter, Ragna. She has not appeared in a published book yet, but she she's gay, okay?
Soon,
And
TM.
been she's always been different. So this book, the way I see it, okay, like this book, it's not only about supernatural stuff like and you know about all these different cultures and stuff, but it can help kids, you know, like or teenagers, something
Well,
like that, that are growing up and they don't know. They're like, wait a minute, I'm different, I'm this, I'm that, you know. They don't know which way to look because I have received a lot. I'm sorry to get all serious here, but it's the truth. A lot of people that were like, they were like, you know, I'm asexual and I don't ever want to, you know, sleep with anyone. I thought I was the only one. I thought, you know, that there was something wrong with me, and I'm like, no, it's it's not just you. I said there are a lot of people like you, you know. You're not alone in this world. And I've had
and
a lot of women and men come to me and tell me, you know, like I've been this way my whole life. Like I was married, but then I realized, you know, that I also love men you know, they've come to me for those things.
Mm.
Okay. I guess you could say the shoulder to cry on. I don't know how they knew that it was me that would be the shoulder to cry on, but they did come to me about that. And like I was telling you before, Lady Spookari, I was
Yeah.
telling you, that something happened. Okay. I got a stalker. Okay. And I don't want to say, I'll just say SA. They were threatening me with that. And so that's why I kind of like slowed it down a little bit. But that makes me angry because all these other people that were coming to me and telling me, hey, hey, but the only reason that I even, because I go by the name Heaven Sent Me, but I might as well just say, hey, I'm Mimi, because a lot of people know me as Mimi.
Yeah.
They already know me because I've spoken to a lot of people that have come to me and they, just, I guess you could say, they would explain their life story, or not life story, a little subject that they were going through. I've had a lot of people that have been through stuff, okay? Have had unwanted attention, male and females, okay? And that's the only way I can put it. That have suffered through S SA, right? That's the right way to say it? Okay. Because yes, it does happen to men as well. And they've come to me. I don't know what they saw in me that made them think that, like, oh, she knows about this kind of stuff, like, I can go to her and tell her, like, hey, I went through this and I went through that. Maybe it was the whole I was on Johnny Depp's side of things, but we were writing before that, but and I had people coming and talking to me about it before that. But I guess I just looked like the type. Well, no, because I've never shown my face before, But my friends, they all know. Only my friends have seen me, and so they all know. Oh, it's Mimi, it's Mimi, it's Mimi, like that. And so it kind of scared me when you put my picture up. I was like, ah, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, all my friends already know what I look like. It's okay. Because
I
Okay,
it
so
was
we're past the 1 hour mark, so we're gonna go on our quick break, but we'll be back
mhm.
in just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, we're back. Well, Mimi is currently a bit busy, but we're here with Zithero. Oh, hang on. Say hello again. I didn't unmute you in time.
Hello again. Hello again.
It's my natural state of being slow to unmute my guests. I'm
That's
sorry.
all right.
It happens all the time.
Sounds polite, to be honest.
Yeah. It's like oh,
Wait,
at least
the other
it's
way around. At least, wait. Did you mute yourself? What happened?
no. For a sec, I thought I did. When you said, "Did you mute yourself?" I'm like, "Oh no," because I've done that before
Okay.
too on the stream.
I've had a stream where we thought we were recording or streaming and we weren't for the first like half of the stream. I was like, oh no.
Oh, that's
So yeah,
oh,
that was painful.
yeah. I can imagine. Let's see. Thank you very much, Hopeful, one of my dear channel members. I greatly appreciate that. Hopeful says lady and guess with a smiley face. It's good to see you, Hopeful. Welcome. So I think we'll just talk about general things.
Yes, that's fine.
So, do you play video games by any chance?
Okay, so I can actually tackle this one. This is great because this is a me question anyway. So Mimi is not big into video games, but me, I'm a big player of Overwatch. I know the guy who writes multicultural, multi-diverse, and with a diverse cast likes Overwatch for some reason. So yes, I play a lot of Overwatch. I love fantasy and RPG stuff, but Overwatch is fun because I used to play World of Warcraft. I am 4 years sober on World of Warcraft.
Oh my God. I'm very sorry
There
about
she
that.
is.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So
Thanks,
I asked about video games, and I'm 4 years sober on World of Warcraft. I used to be very heavily into it, and I now play Overwatch. And I do not speak Spanish, but my beautiful Mimi does, and I told her a lot about the Mexican character of Overwatch named Sombra, and how I don't understand what her like. Everyone has an ultimate in that game,
Yeah.
and one of the ultimates that they had that she has, it's an EMP pulse. It shuts everything down. So what she actually says is lights out, or Mimi, as you would say.
Oh, the thing I hate saying it because the last time he asked me,
Just
he's like,
say it. Just say it
he
real
said,
quick. Say it.
okay, the girl goes in and she goes, "Se apagan las luces," like that, right? But
And
Zithero,
I,
what did you
yeah,
think she said?
I hop in because I misheard what she said, and I said, "Your gondolas are useless,"
The
which is
gondolas are
not,
useless.
which is obviously not what she's saying. But yeah. A fun fact though, and Mimi helped point this out to me. I thought, oh, this is really good because this is a Mexican character, and Mimi is Mexican. I showed her the character, and she says, well, that's great, but why is she Colombian? I thought she was Mexican. And apparently the voice actress, I'm like, no, she's Mexican. Apparently the voice actress for Sombra is Colombian, and Mimi picked out the accent. I didn't. Again, I'm just a
Yes.
white boy. I don't know.
I'm really good with that. I was like, I thought she was Mexican. I said, what's this Colombian girl doing? And then he goes, she's not Colombian, she's Mexican. I said, no, that's a Colombian girl. I can always pick it up.
That you can. That you can.
It's just different words. Like, for example, there's a word, coño. And well, since Citro's from New York, there's all different types of Hispanics. There's Cuban, Colombian, Honduran, Mexican, just everything. And all of us are there. All of us are there. And people from Venezuela, just Argentina, just everywhere. And then one time he wrote something and he said, Belize. And then I was like, wait a minute. I said, hold up. I said, I don't know where this Belize is. I said, but I said, it sounds like a Mexican suitcase because it's actually a B, but I was just cracking jokes like I always do. And I was like, it sounds like you're saying Belize. That's a suitcase. I said, I've never heard that. I said, maybe there are Hispanics there. I said, but I don't know. But he's like, yeah, he goes, where is it by? I
It's
forgot.
it's it's near Mexico, I think. I as an American, my geography is terrible. So as far as where physically Belize is, I am fairly certain it is south of Mexico. If I am wrong, I apologize to anyone from Belize who's listening, but I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Also, to respond to the chat real quick about Activision Blizzard failing, yes, I'm angry about Overwatch not getting PvE, but that's besides the point. I can't do anything about it.
Hello, Miranda.
Oh,
Welcome to the stream. Oh,
that's my sister. That's my sister. Okay. Yes, she's my sister. That's my beautiful Miranda. She got the book. And hello, Miranda. I can't see you because if I do it, it'll go double. And it's so funny because Miranda understands that usually I use the microphone when I text anyone. And it's so funny. Okay, you said we could say okay, I'm trying that. I think one time I wrote her something on Telegram and I was like, "Oh my god." I said, "I'm so sorry." I said, I was trying to say I have a thick accent. But what came out instead was, "I'm sorry for my dick exit." And but I was trying to say thick accent, but my microphone picked up dick dick.
oh no.
And she has never let me
Text
live it down. There you go, Miranda.
So you tell everyone else
text
too. That's what
Oh
everyone will
my
text
god.
remember from this live stream. Nothing
speech
Oh
else.
to
my god.
text is a demon in and of itself. There's just a little demon in there that just likes to mess around with the speech to text.
It's horrible for my dick accent. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh my
Just kidding.
god.
You're like, shut I may be a demon, but I still want my YouTube channel to survive.
Yes, like Neil won't give me money if there's too much swearing.
Oh my goodness.
It's true. Let's see.
I'm
Oh,
sorry
so
I can't see any of the questions,
it's
but
okay. So
you're like, what are you talking of?
you're both being asked a Skyrim question. I don't know if you both played Skyrim, but Imperials or Stormcloaks? This is from
Okay,
Laura.
I'm actually not that big into Skyrim. I'm sorry.
How
But
dare you? No, I'm kidding. It's okay.
that's I'm not that big into Skyrim, but I'll just put it like this: on Overwatch, I was always the horde, so I'll usually I will pick the usually the antagonist, just for fun. So whichever one in that would be the antagonist. I Skyrim's one of those games where I keep saying I'm gonna pick it up, and I just don't.
Do it.
I'm multiple reasons, but yeah, mostly mostly apathy. There we go. That sounds good. That sounds very stormtroopery.
The mods are
Stormcloaks.
good.
Okay. Now don't come haunt me, okay? Ladies because I'll just make you laugh. I will. I promise I will. But I do not play video games.
Okay.
Now, Zithero asked me, he's like, because I forgot what it was. I told him, look, I said, when someone comes at you with a gun, I mean, I live in Texas, so I was like, when someone comes at you with a gun, they start shooting. I go, you go side to side. I go, you swerve, you do this and that. I said, you be careful. And then he goes, I know what I'm doing. I said, oh, okay. I said, how do you know that? He goes, I play video games. I said, oh. I said, well, I said, I'm from Texas. That's all I have to say about that. Sounding like Forrest Gump myself.
Hello,
Oh my
Vidith.
god.
Welcome.
Oh my god, I'm so crazy. But I don't play video games. But the only reason I don't play video games is because there's so much craziness in my life, okay, that it's like, I guess I I don't it's not, I hate to say, oh, I don't have time for it or anything like that, because a lot of people have told me, hey, play this game, play that game. But I'm always like reading books, and if I'm not reading books, I go to TikTok with Miranda, who's right there, and we go and we play because we get to battle, and I love to battle. That's my favorite thing to do, battling. So if I'm not doing it in the books, I'm doing it on TikTok. And it's fun, but it's it's not a video game, but well, it's as close as I can get to it, I guess. Don't come haunt me.
It's okay. Like Adam
Don't
jokingly,
come
Adam jokingly
don't
said, she doesn't play video games. Can we really trust this person? He's joking. He's joking. I told my chat can get
No,
quite
you
cheeky
cannot trust
sometimes.
me, Adam. Cannot. I'm telling you right now, you cannot trust me.
I
I'll come and haunt you.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Be careful, Adam, because I'm pretty crazy and I'll come and haunt you. I'm telling you right now. I've said that before to someone. I was like, I said, they said something bad to me, like I told you before, and I said, oh yeah. I said, watch this. And then they said, they're like, stop, stop, stop. And they were like, I was having nightmares. They were like, you caused me to have nightmares. I was like, I was only kidding. I was like, God, man. I was like, man, I was only joking. And he goes, get behind me. He said, so what is that thing that you say?
Get
Zithro, what
behind
is
me,
it?
Satan. Get behind me,
Something like that.
devil, or something.
Get behind me, demon. He said that to me.
Yes.
And I was like,
Behind me.
no, I will not. I will stand in front of you and strike you down like that. But I was joking around, and it was funny because I wasn't behind anyone. I was just there
Oh my goodness.
talking on Discord. That's it. And you know, oh, that's one of the other things that I love to do is on Discord. I haven't done it in a while because I got sick. Okay, and so I got sick. I wasn't able to go anywhere, do anything. They had to take away my tablet and my phone because it kept on ringing. And I was trying to watch some shows, but I was like falling asleep. I would start watching it. Next thing you know, I'm just like falling asleep, and it's so funny. And then because I don't want to watch anything that will perhaps like mess with my head and make something in the book change. But now that's not possible. It cannot happen because Zithero and I have everything written out for the next few years. We planned everything from beginning to end. Okay, so but still I don't want to see something I would so I don't watch that much TV or anything. And um what we did, we had it at one point, we had 2 years worth of stories just planned out, not written, okay? Just planned out exactly how we were going to do it. And that's what we've done so far, and that's how we do it. That's how I stay awake, because the stories and everything from the Guardian Temple, they have been compared to, like, on Reddit, it's a big deal. The left hand, right hand, or something like that. That story, I don't know if you remember that story, but it was a really big. They made a big deal. It's called one of the greatest stories on Reddit. And then I had read that story, but we don't have anything like that in the Guardian Temple. And then someone else, so a totally different person said, "Oh my God, this reminds me of like Harry Potter." And I was like, "Okay, well that's nice, that's cool." Um, there's a couple of things like when you enter the Guardian Temple, like I said, there's people from all over the world, the different cultures, everything. And the way they understand each other is that they wear these beads. They're blessed beads. And you can understand any language. For example, the character I told you about earlier, Gorke, he speaks only Spanish. And when he's talking, he starts talking, everybody else hears him in English. But if someone speaks a different language, let's say they speak French, they'll hear him speaking French. And they'll talk back to him in French, and Jorge hears it in Spanish. And so that's one of the things. There was someone
It's
once that
it's like a
compared,
reverse Tower of Babel, basically.
Yeah, I was thinking
concept.
that. I'm like, oh, that's such a cool idea. So
and
there are some more questions. So guys want the
okay,
interrogation to
I was
continue.
thinking one little thing. The what was I gonna say? Oh my God, I can't believe that I forgot what I was gonna say.
We're talking about
Okay,
the bead.
I forgot what I was gonna say. It's okay.
Okay.
That's a very rare occurrence, but okay. You were okay. Someone asked a question. I'm sorry.
It's all good. So I've got one, but I think so. Adam asked a question to you both. So how do you two deal with writer's block and writer's burnout?
Okay.
Okay.
At one
Uh,
point, there was this is something that did happen. Okay. Um. Okay. Adam, you asked about the video games. That's why I said no. Don't trust me. But anyway, if it's the same Adam, okay. But no, I don't play video games. But like in my life, I have lived like, oh my God, like so many different ways. I've been through so many different things that if, let's say, for example, Zithero will say, "Hey, what would this character say?" Something like that, and I'll say, "Oh, look, this and this and this and that." I said, "That's what I would say." I'll put on different hats, like I'll put on Ragna's, well, that's a crown, but still. Or I can even say like what a male would say. I have gone in there, and one time this was funny. Oh my God, I'm not gonna say who it was, but I was on the phone with Zithero. We were doing the story, and there's a character named Rachel. She
hmm,
is the wife of Lucifer's daughter, Ragna. Full name Ragnarok, okay, or Ragna Misho. And what happened was somebody asked me. They said, "Am I pretty?" And I thought I had put Zithero on mute. Okay. And then what
hmm.
I thought I put him on mute, and what I did, and I didn't. So he overheard exactly everything that I said. Okay, it's real sneaky. He just stayed real quiet, and then I was saying, because they asked me, "Oh, am I pretty?" And I was like, "No, you're gorgeous. You're this, that, and you're gonna be able to do whatever you want in this world." Like that. It's not just any pep talk, okay? It's to someone special and someone I love. So it was like, you're drop dead gorgeous. I was like, "You're not pretty, you're drop dead gorgeous." I said, "Plus," I said, "you're gonna be able to do anything you want in this world. You have all these different talents that, like are that you don't show everyone, but that I have seen."
And
And
I,
Zithero overheard all of this,
yep. And
and he put it to and say what you did. Go on.
I I overheard all of it. And she was, and I'll do this too. She'll do it to a greater extent where it'll kind of flow out into real life. So as I said, we're very character focused, and she gets into
What does that
character.
mean? Explain that so I can get it. I always say
So
to do
we're
that.
character. the story is character driven, so very much we're following the growth and experiences of all our different characters. So it's not so much
Oh, okay.
here's the story and the characters are in it. It's more like here's the characters and how this is how they're going to conquer these things. Well,
Oh, they
she
tell
was
us what they're gonna do.
writing for she was writing for we were writing for Rachel at the time, and we were kind of having a little bit of writer's block, and she was in, I'll call it the Rachel state. Let's call it that. And she made this comment to the other person that was speaking to her while she was not muted, and I went, "That's good. That's really good. I like that. I'm gonna put this in the story. That's good. That's so good." And I didn't tell her, so we were doing what we call a read-through, proofread. As we do the read-through, that's where Mimi hits me with the this character wouldn't say that, or I think they would do this, or it doesn't seem to come off right, and then we'll bounce ideas off each other. And then she came to this part and went, "Why does this seem familiar?" And I was the cat that ate the canary on that one, so I was like,
caught out.
I was called out. But I have a weird method of doing, burnout and writer's block, and part of it is playing. Part of it is getting inspiration from each other, and that helps a lot for writer's block. But sometimes if I'm really stuck, we'll just write something
dive into
completely different. Yep. So we're or into each other's life, or we'll just write something completely different. And for me, actually, this was a story I had started a long time ago, and Mimi helped me flesh it out a little bit. So we kind of took a little break from the main story and started writing a medieval style story for a little bit, kind of like a fantasy, high fantasy, and that kind of, as we petered out with that one, I'm like, oh, okay, well now the writer's block is gone or cleared out for the main story, so now we get back into that, and it's like an ebb and flow. It's strange to explain. Writing more sometimes fixes up my writer's block. As for our writer's block, I should say, sorry. But when it comes to
Oh, go on. I'm sorry. I was
going to say, but when it comes, it's okay. No, but when it comes to burnout, I'm not going to lie. I don't have a good way of dealing with burnout. I kind of just burn out and then crash for a few weeks and then come back. Yeah.
I do the same thing too. Like it kind of just has to like run out, and then all of a sudden I'll get this massive idea. But sometimes I'll force myself to write, and it just bounces back. So
yes,
it's frustrating. It's like, I don't know which way would work best at any one time.
That is like not to. I'm not trying to be like arrogant, nothing like that. No. It'll be like something simple, and then something will just pop out of my mouth because, well, obviously I have a big mouth and I'm always talking. I don't ever run out of stuff to say, as you can tell.
No.
You can all tell. And then, I know, right? Can you imagine when I'm not shy? No, and a lot of the times he'll be like, Zithero will be like, okay, so what do you think about this? And then I'll be like, that reminds me of the time when this and this happened to me. I said, so, and I start going blah 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 blah, and then boom, there it goes.
And
he gets it, and like I said, he makes it real pretty, and it can be a silly story too.
And she thinks I'm not listening. She thinks I'm not listening, but I'm sitting there with a pad and paper, and she's going, and I've got my notepad open on my computer. I'm like, and then what happened? Okay, yeah, all right, and then I'll transpose something like that into a story. We'll just say a story. I won't say which story in particular, but yeah, it's inspired a few NoSleep stories that did really well. So
you could say Mimi is your muse, in a way.
100%. More than just a muse, but yes.
That's cool. I just imagine all the time. You're just watching Mimi constantly like, excellent. This will suit this character just nicely. Sorry.
Yes.
That's what I'm imagining right now.
It's what really happened.
Oh, Yeah, yeah.
I
I'm
have
sitting there and she'll say something. I've even had like little moments where like something happens or she doesn't mute right. You know, things happen. We're chatting all the time. And she'll yell something at somebody because someone has done something bad. And I'm sitting there going, oh, I like that insult. That's a good one.
like the story we posted today. Um,
Hmm.
they're cursing at each other. They're saying bad words in Spanish, and
Oh,
then
yeah. I,
he was on he put. Oh my God! I have to say the Stephen King story. But I have to. It's okay, but he'll
mhm.
post something, and then I'll say no. I'm like I'll put in little stars because I'll get the document and I'll put in little stars, and I'll be like in between the stars. I'll write down what I want to be written in there. And I use the stars to show anything because although we do have an editor that is Katara. Okay, and she goes through it because a lot of the times, like all of the what do you call it, like the commas and like me, I'm the never ending story. Okay, I'll just claim that's what I am because I don't stop talking. This is me being shy. So be careful, Adam. Anyway. And I was like, why is she picking on me? I'm not, Adam. No, and I have this thing that it's always like the never ending story. I've actually been told by several people, they're like, oh my God. They're like, don't you ever like it not what they say, don't you ever run out of some of stories? And I've been called, and that was a nice one, okay? I've been called the story topper. Okay, because somebody would say something, I say, "Ooh," but I wasn't trying to story tell. I was like, "Ooh, something like that happened to me." I was like, "But it went like this," and I wasn't topping the story. I was just saying, "Oh, I had a similar experience." That's it. But I was told, "Oh, you're a story topper," and I was like, Psh. I was like, if I wanted to top the story, I would have said a better story. Yeah, I said. And one of the other things I was told was like, "Oh my God, like, wow, you can talk for days." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I can." Like with Miranda, okay? She knows because me and her will be talking and I told her, I said, I have like 4 minutes that I can talk. And then she's used to my typos. And then we ended up for 4 hours. And then she goes, I thought you said 4 minutes. I said, it was a typo. I said, it's 4 hours.
So Miranda is saying a 5-minute convo turns into 3 hours on the phone. Mimi, I need
Yeah.
to sleep.
Miranda will be going to work and she'll
sleep
be putting
doesn't
on her
sleep
makeup
doesn't
on the
happen.
not with me.
We're
Okay.
no
She
sleep writers. That's the point.
All right.
I love Miranda to death. So she's my sister, and oh my God, well, I don't know if I should. Can I say it, Miranda? I can't see, but let's see. Zithero, look to see if she says I can or can't,
Okay.
and she knows what I'm talking about.
Well, what?
Okay.
Miranda's
So
Was there
very
another question
talented.
coming?
no. Oh
Miranda's
yes.
very talented herself.
Hmm.
Okay, she's very shy, but she's a great person. She's one of the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful women I have ever met. She's very kind-hearted. She's just everything, you know. She's all of that, and just she's really, really cool.
Okay.
Okay, so she and I. That's why I talk to her, and I'll talk to her for hours. Because she can keep up with me. She can keep up with me and stuff. And she's very talented. Miranda, can I say it, Miranda?
He said, whatever you need to.
Okay. Miranda also writes, and she sent me the rough draft of one of the stories. Oh my God, the way this woman writes is beautiful. I fell in love right away. And she's also an artist. she can draw
Ooh.
anything. It looks like she and oh, Zithero, I wanted you to meet her because for the stories,
Mm,
for the
of course.
characters. Oh my God, she had a picture. The lion looked like it was alive. It looked like a picture of a lion. And it was her drawing, the way she draws and the way she writes and the way she speaks. Beautiful, everything, all of it. And she's got the biggest heart in the world. Oh my God, she's a great person.
Ooh.
Okay, just chef's kiss.
She's
That's why she gets the 4 hour conversation.
she's
There
currently
you go.
blushing right now. Hello, Lauren. Welcome to the stream. All right, hang on.
Hello, Lauren.
So I'm gonna ask my question before I get distracted.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Okay.
So who is your this is for each of you, obviously. Who is your favorite character and why?
Ah, that's a hard one.
Oh my God. Okay,
So you,
I'll let you
I'll
go first.
answer. I'll answer first. I'll answer first, real quick. But I'll try to answer anyway. My favorite character, and we're talking in our own story. I'm assuming that's
Yeah,
where we're directed.
yeah.
Um, God. Uh,
I'm putting you both on the spot, and I know it.
yeah. This is probably the hardest one.
Well, actually, I'm gonna say a lot of names, so
I'm so for me, my personal, like, as far as like character, I'm just gonna say it's the Mary Sue character that I wrote, and that's going to be Zephyrina. She's
Zithero.
probably my favorite character. She's our little asexual fighter. Pretty much,
Was that the
she
one played by
Demon
Pumpkin Queen?
Slayer.
yes, actually,
Yes.
Pumpkin Queen has played Zephyrina, and yes,
Thought
she's
so.
yes, Pumpkin Queen
Hmm.
played her. It was a very fitting. She fit very well for Zeph, I thought. And what was funny is she's faced some demons before that use seduction magic and have failed at that because she has no. She wants to fight. That's her thing. She wants to fight. She wants to help people. She's very driven and frustrated by her situation. So it's something I can relate to at times, and I like her very much. So that's my personal favorite character. I'll hand it off to Mimi for her tough choice on this one.
Okay. My one of my favorite characters is Sarah Baker, obviously.
Mm,
And I love her because no matter what, she always uh she'll let's just say and I'm not saying like, oh, she has this blessed life. I mean, come on, the woman, she's had a hard time, but she looks at everything like with a sense of humor, and anything that happened bad that happened, she's got a little sassy attitude, and she has a way about her. Now, having said that, that's Sarah Baker. She's, chef's kiss right there. But the other character that I love so much is Ragna. That's Lucifer's daughter. Okay? Because she starts off and she's like, everybody thinks, oh, she's so evil. She's so evil. But then as you go deeper, you start finding out more about her. You realize why she is the way she is, you know?
Mm.
Um, Even I was confused about her. Like, why do I love her so much? She's supposed to be evil. But you see, she's dealt with a lot. She's been around for a long time, since the time of the dinosaurs.
Mm.
And she's suffered a lot. So I can relate a lot to Ragna. A lot. To both Sarah Baker and Ragna. Those two are my favorite. Now, and the other one that I love is Elon.
mm.
Okay. Elon is he's the one from what's the name? Oh, I fell in love with death. I
Yes,
believe
I
that's
fell
the
in love
name
with
of
the
his.
Angel of Death. That's
I
the
fell in
that's the
love with the
story.
angel of death.
Hmm.
Okay, and He's just everything about him. He reminds me of someone in my life, okay? That was in my life. He's very, I guess the reason I love him is because, like I said, he reminds me of my brother. There you go. And that's why I love him so much because he is like him. And let me see. The other one that I love is I love I love Persephone. Okay. Because Persephone, this this is a woman that has dealt with a lot of things that were very difficult, you know, but yet she still managed to, how to put this, yes, she's beautiful. She's blessed with good looks and everything like that. But, it all it wasn't like, oh, she was blessed because she had the best boyfriend and she had this and blah blah blah. Even though her parents had money, they didn't believe her in certain things. So she had to work hard and do a lot of things that she didn't want to do. So, even though her parents had money, they weren't very kind to her. So she made it, whatever she does, she earned it, she did it, it was all her, you know?
Nice.
Sorry.
She's one of those people that works hard. Now, to take it off the serious note, the other one that I love is Eris and Alexis. Okay? Eris and Alexis are, oh my God. Eris,
It,
the goddess of chaos, she's crazy. She's out there.
she's our
Oh
little
my God.
Deadpool. She's
Mm-hmm.
she's the only character that we let break the fourth wall, and she's also similar to Zephyrina. She was actually voiced by a narrator in our little circle, and that is Madame Raven, and
Oh, Madam
she's
Raven.
we've yes, and she did such a great job with Eris. I actually threw uh, her sign off into the book at some point, which Madame Raven later narrated as well as a guest narrator, which was funny. But Eris, I'll let Mimi go on. I just wanted to add that anecdote about Eris because she is our little chaos and she is our little fourth wall breaker.
She is. I mean, you think, oh, it's gonna go one way, and then Eris comes in, and forget it. Everything goes like upside down. It goes crazy, and I love Eris because mm, she's shy. That's all
Chaos.
I can say. She's really shy. That's all I can say about her.
I think we have very different definitions of shy. I'm
Yes.
finding that out more and more.
Now, but let me see. And Sophia, I love Sophia, but the character that a lot of people will love, okay, is Sarah Baker and Ragna. Like a lot of the people that they follow on Reddit, we have what are they called? They're the flares.
Oh
There are
yes,
so many.
we have favorite character flares on our subreddit. So if
Mhm.
you prefer a
And
particular character, you can flare. And we find that most people are either on like Team Ragna or Team Sarah.
mhm.
Like there's a lot of that popping up. There's a few other characters, of course. Everyone's different,
There's
but we do see a
Timothy.
lot. Yeah, we do
There's
see a lot
Timothy,
of people
and
in Sarah Baker's
I
corner.
I actually have a like Timothy looks a certain way, but there's someone, I don't really want to say his name, but okay, that I picture this guy as, although different accents and everything, but this is the guy that I picture. Miranda's gonna know who I'm talking about. But she's only read the first book. She bought the first book and she read that book. She hasn't read all of the stories yet. She's gonna finish the book and then read the stories and find out about Timothy. Now, I had said, that there is someone that I follow on TikTok. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a very good looking young man, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good looking guy. You can ask Miranda right there. He's gorgeous, actually, okay? He's gorgeous. I'll just throw that out there. And this guy is one of those people that they work out and everything. He's always working out and does everything, and but he's funny. He's charming. He's charismatic, and he just has his own style. He's got blue hair, and on the eyebrow, he's got like slices right there. Like he's got like four eyebrows. Oh my god! When they make that stupid joke about, oh my god, four eyebrows, I go crazy. But I was telling you that I went to TikTok. Now there is a guy, and his name is Leo. Okay, and he's the one that I follow. Miranda and I follow him. And this guy, if you take one look at him, he wears like blue contacts. They look like the eyes of a husky, and his with his blue hair and dark eyebrows, and he's just he's like 5'10", you know, but that guy has got the heart of an angel, okay? He's a really, really good guy. And that's so weird because you would never imagine that a guy that good looking could actually be a good person. Yeah, I don't know. It's just maybe it's just me, but but this guy is a good person. So a lot of the traits, I moved them over, or we did that to be like Leo. And even though the accents are different, but the eye color is similar. A lot of the people that are in the stories, they're all based on real people, okay,
Mhm.
or real
Mm-hmm.
situations. Not, I mean, not everything, obviously, okay. Like there'll be, certain things, but that one guy, he looks like Timothy, even though Timothy has dark hair, but he's got the
Mhm.
eyes and everything. When I tell people, "Oh yeah, I write," and on TikTok, and I say yes, about Leo, and they're like, "Oh, you like to write romantic novels?" And I'm like, "Ugh, no, not that there's anything wrong with it, but well, I no, I don't write romantic novels, and it's about that's who like if anybody's thinking like, oh, who does he look like? It would be that guy Leo right there. That's the one that he reminds me of. That guy's got a tattoo on his arm and one on a big one on his back and stuff like that. And that's the guy I always told Zithero. I said, look, that's the guy. That's him right there. Because I've always told him, like, hey, if we ever I go if ever, we get lucky enough where it gets made into a show or something. I said, these are the people that I want. We always do the what if game, and that's one of them. And let me see. Sophia, did I mention Sophia
Yeah, you mentioned
about
Yes,
how
you
much I
Sophia.
mentioned
love her?
Sophia.
Okay.
So we're going to be
Yes.
moving on to the
And
next question very soon.
okay. Okay. And let me think. Who else? Who else? I know there's someone I'm missing. I know there's someone I'm missing. Oh, and Lucifer.
Of course.
He's very, very sexy.
Mhm.
He is
Nice.
extremely sexy.
Of
Okay.
course.
That, yes,
All right.
he is.
Okay. So next question is, what tips do you have for writing?
Um. So I this is just sound kind of silly. If you have an idea, um, that you want that you think would make a good story, but in your head, you at some point stop and think, it's not going to make a good story. Write it down anyway and share it to somebody. Because I almost did that to myself, and I almost never posted. And I thank Mimi for finding some of the first stories I ever posted
Yeah,
and
like
helping to improve them and show me that no, these aren't ideas that are just silly and don't get anything done. Uh, if it's something that you want to write and something that you are passionate about, and I will just say write it down. Just put it to paper, and reread it, and until you're happy with it and you think that it's good, and put it out there, and you'll be surprised at how many other people agree with you. And even if they don't agree with you, at least you put it down. So that's my advice. It's like just write it down, get it on paper, reread it over and over again to yourself, and then put it out there. Because if you don't, it's just never going to get out there. Don't doubt yourself. That's my main thing. Just don't doubt yourself, and just have some self-confidence, and just get it going. That's my advice.
Nice. That's some pretty good advice.
It is good advice, and that comes from experience, because he had a story in his head for many years, which he thought, oh no, it's just gonna sit there. And I said, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, and let me look. I took one look, and I went in there, and I started writing and changing certain things, and it became several books. Those are the prequels to the Guardian Temple.
That's the Of Night and Day story, and that one in particular, I remember very much sending that initial story to her, and at the original story, I'm not going to lie, I had written it down and I shelved it because I'm like, it's technically a prequel, but it's got all these out there concepts, and I really don't think anyone's really going to relate to it. And that was the Night and Day story. It was 14 chapters long to begin with. By the time she was done with it, we had 33 chapters and 2 books. 2 books with 33 chapters each.
Oh my.
I can keep on going. Like I said, I don't stop talking.
She inspired a vast shift in that storyline. It was just great, and it made it much better, and we put it out there, and it was incredible. So it was good.
A lot of people fell in love with it because it's
well, I don't want to give too much away about that one, but
okay, on that one. Yeah, that one it's a prequel because like Ragna and Zithero, they come to Earth, and that's where the Guardian Temple it starts happening. Like they come in and they start like making demands, doing this and that, saying, "Oh, we're gonna hurt everybody. You're gonna be our slaves." And then so the funny thing is that God, the funny thing is that it's like, where did these 2 people come from? Who are they? What brought them to this point? And that is where Night and Day comes in, the prequel, because it's their story. Because that was one thing that always got on my nerves, because Ragna, Lucifer's daughter, strong, independent woman that can kick some ass. How tall is she, baby?
Right. Ragnar stands about 7.5 feet tall, roughly. I have it written down somewhere her exact height, but she's a tall drink of water.
She's real tall, and she's got black hair with violet eyes. And the thing about it is, like, it always got on my nerves, because she would always follow Zyphiel everywhere. If he said, "Oh, we're doing this," they would do it. Okay, and then that got on my nerves. But then when we did when I read what he had wrote on, because he had some chapters of Night and Day, but when I went through it, he goes, "Oh, it's just, I don't know how many. It was a few chapters or something, baby. What? How many?"
It was about 14 chapters at the time when you first
Okay,
saw it.
and then I went
Maybe
in
even
there
a little
and
less, to be honest.
I went in there and I changed like all this stuff, and I started. It's not just filler. I started putting in some things that I had seen done. Nothing from movies, okay? Nothing comes from a movie. Nothing. It all comes from experience. from something that happened in my life. And so it was pretty, it wasn't that difficult. I've had a pretty crazy life, okay? So it's out there. And it's funny because I can tell Zithro, okay, look, this and this happened to me. And then he can make it, where it goes with our lore, I guess you could say. So it
Yes.
works that way.
Yes.
Okay, so
And he's like intelligent.
we're gonna be going on a break again, so we're past the out.
Okay.
So we will see you guys in just a moment. Okay, everyone, we're back. We're just gonna be waiting on Mimi for a little bit, but so before
Hello.
the stream, I was really worried because my internet cut out this morning. So for people who didn't see me online super early, that's why, and I was losing my mind. So
Oh God.
yeah, so Zithero was giving me some support tips, so maybe I might get a whole $1 off the internet
Yes.
company.
No one hold it against me. I used to work for an internet service provider. Okay, so I know some tips. At least stateside, if your internet's out for more than 4 hours, you can get a service credit. I mean, it's a day's worth of credit, but that's about it. But they'll do it if you're polite. Do be polite.
What happens if you're not polite?
Oh, if you're not polite, well, all right, I'll continue on this one then. So, I was the tech support at the time, and then we had a big outage that I was taking calls on, and I was just processing the, if people would ask and so forth. But I got this one, let's call her Karen, who was very snippy with me, and she said, you know, your company's terrible, saying she's yelling at me like I'm a representative,
Yeah.
like I run the company, and I'm like, ma'am, real sorry. Here's what I can do. And so I want a credit for every minute that I'm down.
What? That's not.
Well, that's what she said. And in an act of malicious compliance, that's exactly what I did. I calculated out for a 24-hour period. Mind you, the average internet cost is maybe $60 a month, so that'd be about $2. So I basically calculated out, well, in a 24-hour period, this is how much it would cost for each hour. And then I gave her, as soon as the outage ended, I gave her exactly 2 hours and 34 minutes worth of service credit, which amounted to about 67 cents.
Good. Nice.
I mean, I did exactly what she told me to do.
I approve highly of the malicious compliance. Very nice.
Malicious compliance is cathartic.
It really is. It really, really is.
Yes, r/malicious compliance. That is one of my go-to subs. Is it also locked now? I don't know.
It might be.
Our picks has. I'm going to point this out. Our picks has the best malicious compliance with Reddit right now. What our picks has done, and this is, they're a pretty big subreddit. They are now currently only posting pictures of John Oliver. He's only allowed to post pictures of John Oliver. The mods have been holding very firm on this line, and it's the funniest protest I've ever seen, because it's just post after post of John Oliver, usually in very compromising positions, marrying a head of lettuce, making eyes at a horse, all the sort of things that you would expect John Oliver to do. He's doing them.
So Laura also likes r/nuclear revenge.
Ooh, that's a new one.
Ooh. Hello.
I don't know about that one. I'm going to add that one to my list of channel feeds.
Hello, Left Hand Puppetry. Left Hand Puppetry says, "What a lovely day, indeed, indeed. It's a kind of sunny with. Hang on, let me have a look. With a few clouds. Oh my god, bright. Oh my god, I'm good.
Don't burn yourself."
That's what it felt like. It just moved like one of the blinds, and it just shone in. I'm like, yeah.
Cursed Daystar.
I'm just waiting for Adam to come back in and be like, yeah, that's because you're a vampire lady. I'm like, I'm a demon.
Some demons don't like the sun. That's a whole plot point in Demon Slayer.
I mean, that's a good point.
That's a good
point. Let's see.
Depends.
So how do you relax and recharge?
So for me, my relax and recharge is usually I'll play some games, Overwatch. I shouldn't say that. Overwatch is not a relaxing game. I get very competitive. So while I say that's my relaxing time, um, I'll kick back. I'll watch some YouTubes. I'm a big nerd, so I like to watch like tech YouTubes and things like that. But it's funny. I'm very much a millennial. I don't watch cable TV that much. I'll just watch YouTube, or I'll watch. I've got Crunchyroll. I like to watch anime. Um, to no one's surprise, one of the character I actually have, and I questioned whether I could do this. One of the characters, Zephyrina, has a uh, big. She's a big fan of Berserk, which is one of my favorite animes. Well, okay, I'm gonna call it an anime. It's the manga. I'm really a fan of the manga and the art style. Shocking that the folks who write demons like Berserk. Um, but yeah, the that particular uh, like just like to watch anime, and I'll read manga, and I'll read some online stuff on Reddit. Some doom scrolling, as I call it. But that's generally my downtime. For Mimi, she loves to binge watch shows on Netflix. I'm answering for she's away. She'll watch stuff on Netflix. She also, of course, as she mentioned, always has a book in her hand, so she will always be reading. And then, of course, she has her TikTok battles, which she and Miranda are deeply involved in. I don't understand TikTok, and I know it's weird. I don't get it. I personally don't get the TikTok battles, but um, it's what Mimi breaks into, and that's how she met Leo, who, as she mentioned, looks a lot like what we imagined Timothy to look like. So at some point, we hope that if we can get his attention, he could maybe do like some cosplay for us. It'd be fun.
That would be
Um,
really cool.
that would be cool for him to do. We've had a few art commissions, but no cosplay yet. Yet. Who
Yet.
knows?
The key word is yet.
Yes, that is correct.
So I'm tempted to ask questions, but about the book, but I don't want to ask them without Mimi here too, because like I want both you to be here. But like, would you like it to be like a movie series? Would you like it to be like a TV series, or anything? We'll just keep
Our,
it in book form.
so our publisher, whether this is her hyping up the story or doing all this stuff, she really was touting about like a potential, like she'd really like to see, after so many sales and so forth, so many book releases, a potential like series. Netflix series would be like, if that happened, I'd pass out. I don't know how I'd handle that. If someone said, "Hey, we want to turn your story into a Netflix series," I'd be like, "Ha, thud." And then, after some time of recovery, I'd be like, "Yes, please. Are you still there?" Um, you know,
Well,
Mimi, are you there?
I can hear the giggling.
Perfect
She's
timing.
back.
Perfect timing. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So I
One
had to
of
watch
the
it
key
all. Sorry.
things. That's okay. One of the key things we've always talked about, if we ever did movie or Netflix series or anything, is that we need creative control, or it's not it's a no. I've seen what Netflix did to some stuff, and it's bad. Um, but I've also seen them hit some stuff out of the park, and that I'll sing Arcane's praises up and down. So I would rather much keep as much control as possible. I see some doubt over there. I see some doubt.
Yeah, it's more like just Netflix has made some
Oh,
questionable changes to some things. It's like, oh, Netflix, no.
I okay. I'm not a big One Piece fan, but I'm just gonna say this real quick. I have seen, from what little I've seen of One Piece, I have no idea how they plan to bring that over to live action, because it very much is one of those weird states where One Piece is a story that belongs in the medium of anime, and it can't escape. I don't think you can translate it to another medium. Uh, like I don't think you can make One Piece a live action. I don't think it's possible. If Netflix can, more power to them. I don't think it's possible.
What's One Piece? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what One
Okay,
Piece
so
is.
So I'm not again, I'm not a huge fan of One Piece. One Piece is a very off the wall anime. From what I know about it, and I've only seen a few episodes, so I will likely get things wrong. So if there are One Piece fans in the audience, I apologize. Um, the basic premise is there are these special demon fruits. You eat them, or if you eat them, they will. It's like Russian roulette. You will either get a really cool superpower or something very lame. And what you follow the main character, whose superpower is he's rubbery. You know, so it doesn't seem like a really powerful character, but he's a creative little kid. So he uses his ability to stretch and flex his body to throw a really big punch, but he reels it back like a ridiculous way, and that's what he calls Gundam pistol, and blasts someone in the face with his fist. There's a character there who fights with a sword in his mouth. That's not. Again, in anime, it's like, oh wow, he's so skilled, he can use 3 swords with one in his mouth. In live action, I don't see how that's going to translate. Because it's not how it works. But so that's what One Piece is basically, just following around pirates. I guess the best descriptor for someone who doesn't know anything about it, from what I can tell, it's like X-Men meets Pirates of the Caribbean. That's my best.
That's a good concept.
That's my best description I can give. Like, if I had to give like a 1,000-foot picture of One Piece, it's X-Men meets Pirates of the Caribbean. Everyone's chasing one piece of treasure, so you have a whole bunch of different pirates. Oh dear. So yeah. No, what DBZ movie? DBZ movie doesn't exist. Yes. It's not real. It's Mandela effect. That's what that is.
Okay, so I've got a question that I don't know how this is going to go down, but I am curious. How do you both feel about the NoSleep subreddit?
Okay. So
I let you answer this one.
We've had a few stories, more recently than not, where I don't. So the subreddit itself, I like it. It kicked us off. We got a great start on it. I really like the subreddit in general. We've put a few stories up where we really felt that they fit NoSleep, but they were told they didn't. And that is because a lot of not every story can start off right off the gate with horror, and sometimes it has to end the first chapter with a little bit of a cliffhanger, a little bit of a thriller to get you to click to the next chapter. And we did that, and we thought we had a good amount of horror in the story. I'll just come out because it's a shorter story, but the story was essentially an archaeologist is reading through the scripture, and he's reading this firsthand account of something, and then he meets somebody who basically is from that scripture, and that's the end of the chapter. So of course that's like a shocking and like, oh my god, this is the guy from the book. What the heck? Well, from the past, what's going on? And that was the idea, was they're establishing this thrilling moment and such, and they didn't feel that was horror enough. So we actually ended up posting that up on the Library of Shadows as a result, because they didn't want it on NoSleep.
I've seen some stories on NoSleep where they're not even scary. Now,
yes.
Okay, here's the thing. Sorry, it just cut in like that. But the thing is, okay, now props to the person who wrote this story, because it was a cool story. I believe it was something about baby blue eyes or something like that. Or I saw her eat her nose, something like that.
Yes, that's the
I
one.
think that was the name of the story. And now he goes on a date with this girl, and he checks out the waitress, and he goes, "Oh my god, I love her nose. It's perfect." So as they're leaving the restaurant, she grabs the girl and she rips her nose off and she eats it. And his date, the note when she eats that girl's nose, it grows on. Her nose changes into the nose that she just ate.
Mm,
And she's like, "Oh my God, I love your eyes. I really love your eyes." Like she's gonna be getting his eyes soon,
yeah.
like that. And I mean, it
Now,
was a good story. But now I don't mean to be like all like that, but what we wrote was had more terror and was more frightening than someone eating someone's nose.
yeah.
You know,
Well, also, because this is actually something we both discussed because we both read the story and we were like we kind of lifted our eyebrow. We've had a story pushed out of No Sleep because quote unquote the main character wasn't afraid, and it was very clear in this particular story the main character was not put off by this. It wasn't afraid, wasn't particularly scared. Um, so it was a little like we were like, well, what did the monsters not get to it, or is it did they just let it
hmm
slide? And sometimes there's some inconsistencies with the enforcement is what I'm kind of boiling down to on that. Um, I so that's kind of like we have a mixed relationship. I think every author who's been there long enough gets this mixed relationship with No Sleep. Like we love the readers and we love everyone who it gave us that exposure to pop off. Um, but sometimes we're a little confused by the enforcement of the no sleep rules. So that's where um, maybe some more clarification. But and there's no specific mod. Maybe someone didn't get to that story or so forth. But things like that are a little frustrating. Let's call it that. I
it
I don't
seems like
I
they
don't want to
have
burn
a.
any bridges.
Yeah, I just felt like there was some stories that were really popular, like the lady that wrote what do you call it? There was this one she wrote the camping, how to survive camping. That story
Oh
was
yeah.
good. I mean,
Yes,
there
yes.
was a guy walking around with a skull and everything and drinking from it. That story is really good. So see that one, I understood. Okay, that one is scary because they had like don't buy eyes from the little children, like that because they're fairies. Those I understand. But when it comes to other stories where it's like, oh, when I turn 18, we find out who our soulmate is. And I'm like, okay, that's a good story, but it doesn't scare me. Okay. I mean, I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just saying now that the moderators, I'm not, I don't know what's up with them, but they don't seem to care too much for our stories.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the one we
If,
had,
if
it was a good story. And they were scared of being killed, because they were going behind their master and finding out the truth of, what they found. It wasn't it was a story that did belong on No Sleep, but they took us down right away. And I don't understand why, because I have seen stories on there that see like the stories I've named, they're not ridiculous. Those are good stories. But okay, but I've seen stories on there and I don't want to name names, but they're ridiculous. Okay? And they're not scary. They don't even make sense. They don't.
Okay.
And I don't know how they made it on there, but I just felt like there's a sort of like a little prejudice towards our stories,
Okay, so
especially with the one of uh of the Titans. What was the name of that one? I forgot it.
that was a I forget that because we eventually we had it as a clickbaity. This is the other thing I'm kind of like. No Sleep kind of makes you pick these clickbaity titles. So originally we had called it, I'm an archaeologist and I found so and such, you know, because it's supposed to be a little, so and so for engagement. But we changed the title around and basically, I forget what it was. I think it was just the Diaries of Hephaestion. I think that's what we called it. And that's what we call it on Library of Shadows, because we had to make it less of um, less clickbaity and more of an actual story title, which is fine. I'd actually like to do that with all the stories. The clickbaity stuff is like, you know.
Okay, so hang on, just hold. I'm gonna ask another question, but just hold for a sec. I just wanna. Hello, Alternative Night. Hello, Wasteland Princess. It's good to see you both. Welcome to the stream. So this actually, that's a good leading up point, because what parts of horror do you enjoy the most?
In horror?
I am a huge fan of we've done both. Okay, so we've done like the slow boil, and we've done like the gruesome horror, like, oh god, like it's horrifying to see what happened to so and so. But for my personal, I love a slow boiled thriller kind of horror where you're not entirely sure what's happening, and maybe there's a little bit of a puzzle that you need to solve as a reader. Like, you're going through, and you kind of have to pay close attention to the events that are happening, because there are little tidbits being dropped here and there that may have a good solution towards the end of the story, and if you might be able to piece it together if you're paying enough attention. So but then it happens, and then it's like a big reveal, and that, to me, I love those slow boil thriller horrors personally. Mimi, what's yours?
Wait, are we talking about just no sleep stories, or are we talking about
Horror in general.
Horror in general.
Oh, my favorite book is It. Not the movies, but the book. Oh my God, that is I like Stephen King back in the day when he was drinking. Sorry about that. And I love there's an author, Laurel K. Hamilton. She writes about vampires and werewolves, and Laurel K. Hamilton, and she also writes about fairies as well. I love her. It's a little bit of horror, like she meets a necromancer that she is a, like, one of her main character, Anita Blake, is a necromancer, but she has morals and everything. But there's one that doesn't have any morals, and she, as punishment, she ties people up, and she just sews them up together, and it's disgusting. It's like really bad. It's not like that thing of what do you call it? Like, I'm forgetting that. It's not like Centipede. It's not like that. This is like something really scary, and because it's like it's a different world. It's where they have vampires and they're legal citizens, and werewolves. Let me see. Like they have were leopards, and it's just, oh my God, I love that. But my favorite book in the whole world is the book It. That one is just it for me. I love It, and I like The Stand. A lot of Stephen King, and I'm trying to think, because I love to read about vampires, which is pretty funny because we only have one vampire in of all the characters we only have one vampire, and I'm like one of the biggest vampire fans in the world. And it's so funny. But I don't take from other authors or anything I've seen in movies or anything like that. I had to, when we started writing, I had to go for a while without reading anything. And but no, the scariest book I've ever read in my life has to be It. Not the movies. Please don't even compare it. It's like the worst.
I've noticed you
And
seem to prefer the books of things rather than movies.
yes, I have read thousands of books. Oh my God. I read so many. Um, at one point, I belonged to like 12 or 14 different book clubs. And every month they send you 4 books. and you have like 2 weeks, and then you can send it back if you don't like it. I would not ever send them back. I would keep them all.
Nice.
And that's the one thing that I've always wanted. I want a library.
Oh my god, same.
That's if it. Oh my god, that would be like my favorite thing in the world. I'll be like, look, my library. Look, 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 my library.
Living the
I walk
dream.
in. I know that it's so funny because I walk into the library or a bookstore, and I get like those girls that go shopping, and they're like, it's like if they have money and they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna buy this and that. Not me. I go into a bookstore and I start going crazy. I'm like, ooh, Jackie Collins. Oh my god. I'll be like, okay, Hamilton, and I always, always, always go back and buy the book because I read it so much. I always go over it and over it and over it just in case I miss anything. I've read that book, oh my god, thousands of times. I'll sit there. I always have a book in my hand, always, at all times,
Nice.
always.
What about you,
I
Zithero?
love.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
As far as like a favorite book, or
Favorite book, but also like what parts of horror do you enjoy the most as well?
so it's just I've most of the book I've read a lot of No Sleep stories and such, and book reading. I've actually got a lot of background in sci-fi books. My favorite book, and this is probably going to surprise a few people, is actually Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is mostly comedy, but also has some stark horrors in it, because that book opens up with the insane premise that Earth is in the way of an intergalactic bypass that no one on Earth could ever have accessed the plans for or protested against. But these aliens, who are these completely bureaucratic, soulless creatures, are just going to destroy the entire planet anyway. And there's a bizarre kind of, even though it's played off almost entirely as a comedy, there's a bizarre kind of horror in the fact that maybe our world could end entirely without anyone's control, just due to some galactic paperwork being filed incorrectly. So as far as that's concerned, like I can find horror in a lot of things, but to me, again, I love the slow boil. I love a good thriller, but as far as like a particular topic of horror, anything that's above human comprehension. Like sometimes a like a slasher thriller can be a little horrifying, but I really like the whole ethereal thing. One movie that really hit me hard as far as like a horrifying scene, and maybe it influenced me a little bit because it was when I was a kid. I don't know if anyone has seen the movie Prophecy with Christopher Walken, and it is an older movie, but its premise was really good. And there's a scene where it's actually one of Viggo Mortensen's earlier works, where he just pops down as the quietest, most serene, and terrifying vision of the devil I've ever seen. It's mostly his ultimate indifference to humanity that's just horrifying. It's just he's got this whole he's talking to a person that for the most part you could tell he doesn't really care about them. He, whether they lived or die, doesn't bother him at all. And it's yes, same person played Aragorn, Lord of the Rings, and it's one of those rare performances that was just like it's in this little B movie, and I very it's almost forgotten, but this just has this ominous weight to the performance that he brings in, and it's that kind of like if there's a character can walk into a room and just suddenly affect everyone around them. That's the kind of horror where it's like, okay, this person has, either has influence or has some capability that's really just going to undo a lot of things around them. So that's kind of my what hits me for horror.
Nice. I like that.
Oh, I just realized something. I didn't say what it was that I loved. The
Oh.
reason that I love the book it so much is because I like this comes out on Ghostbusters and on it. I know that's a weird combination. But when something comes out that it's the thing you're the most afraid of in the world, and you can't help it, you can't stop being afraid of it. That is what always gets me right there. That's what scares me. Because I've read too many horror books, so I have a lot of things to be afraid of. So I'm always like, especially with the book It and with kids, that little kids like they're afraid of like Frankenstein and I guess the creature from the Black Lagoon, stuff like that. It's and clowns. Oh, clowns scare me. That's one of the things. I think that's the thing. When it's something from your imagination that scares you, no matter what, it can be anything, you know. Because I know Dracula doesn't sound very scary, but I went into a haunted house once. Oh my God, Dracula and Frankenstein were in there, and I was so scared because it was so real. I don't know. There used to be this place called a Terror on Church Street, and that was in Orlando, Florida,
Oh.
and it was year round. It was a haunted house. It was year round. Oh my God, when I went into that place, it scared me. It's terrifying to have this big like 9 foot Frankenstein trying to break out of his cage, but then they had that girl from The Exorcist, and I was
Oh.
like, oh my God, trying to run away.
So I'm curious about something. Do either of you believe in the paranormal?
Okay. This is a good one. I'm gonna actually just haul out and say yes. I, I actually one of the things that when we were writing this, I've always kind of done. We do a lot of research on demonology. All of my books on demonology that I have read and that I have spoken the names of numerous demons on has a silver crest on it because I know I personally, and I know Mimi does too. We do personally believe in this. I believe in demons. I believe in the paranormal. So in general, I like to kind of purify the books I read because, especially if I'm looking up something and I've sent a similar charm to Mimi for this express
Mhm.
purpose as well because we are stirring the pot, in my opinion, by speaking these, accursed names and demons and such often. And while we're speaking angel names as well, um, I always wonder if I'm accidentally casting anything. One of these things popped up where we were commissioning symbols for our Patreon, and if you noticed, my symbol is the seal of Solomon. One of the question was, we're making these demonic seals and such that we're going to be marketing with, and I was concerned about putting the actual seals up there, but we still wanted to be accurate. So my idea was we should split them so that each demonic seal we're putting out has their countering angel seal half and half. So if you were to go to our Patreon, the different tiers have like a half and half kind of split to them because we don't want anyone to like print out or disseminate demonic symbols or things like that because they are, as far as we're concerned, very real.
You didn't send me your Patreon link, god damn it. Sorry.
Oh, fudge. I'll put that in the chat.
No,
Oh, how did I forget that?
Oh no, send it to me on Discord because like it's not gonna.
I'll
It will
send
just
it.
be
I'll
like,
send it.
how dare a non-mod post a link? I don't want you to randomly
Gotcha.
get banned from my own shit. Oh, that would be awkward.
Right. That would be awkward. I'm shocked.
My answer to that, I have seen so many things that it would be ridiculous for me to say, no, I don't believe in the paranormal, or anything supernatural. I've seen too much. I've seen so many things, and it's like, yeah. So yes, the answer is yes, but it comes with I've seen a lot of things, so many.
Are either of you willing
It,
to like share some of these experiences, or? This awkward,
I'll go
scared
with,
laughter.
I'll go with
I'm
one.
like, oh no.
I'll go with one. My mother is a bit of a clairvoyant of sorts. Despite having grown up Catholic and in the church doing their very best to beat that out of her. At some point, my grandfather was passing away. And my mother was unaware of this. She was sleeping and just having her normal dream for the most part, except suddenly it turned into a nightmare. She suddenly had a monster chasing her in her dreams, and right before the monster got her, she woke up and she heard my grandfather say in her head right as she was waking up, "You could have a heart attack from something like that." And that evening, my grandfather passed away from a heart attack. More to the point, however, I was only 2, or I was barely 2. I was not really sapient at the time. And when I was growing up, a little older, I started singing a song that my grandfather sang to me very often, but I had no possibility of really remembering it. And it was a song that my mother was very convinced she heard coming from my bedroom after she heard that little joke, or the final joke that my grandfather told her in the nightmare. So that's where my belief in the paranormal comes in.
That's really wholesome. I expected a scary story. I'm like, damn it. No, it's good. It's good.
It's a little terrifying.
No, but it's wholesome though. I mean, it's a nice thing. It's not like,
Okay, here goes mine.
Why do you sound scared, Mimi?
I'm
a little.
Since I was a little kid, since I was little, they would tell me, my grandma would tell me, we lived in Houston, and my grandma would tell me, go to sleep, and she had her uniform. She was a nurse, and it was like I want to say a studio apartment, but it wasn't a studio because it was bigger than. Okay, and every night I wouldn't go to sleep. I couldn't sleep because my grandmother's her nurse uniform would be hanging right there in this, like, in between the kitchen and the the bedroom. It was a very large bedroom. And and it was just with the hanger, and then I would close my eyes and pretend to be asleep because every night, the uniform, like a body would appear in there. I could see it start stretching out, and because she would wash it and then like hang it up there so it would dry. And ugh, every night this woman would get in the like, oh my god, I hate to even say the thing, but it was like she would fill out the nurse's uniform, and I would see her. She was a black woman, and she would look at me. I remember her because I remember she was black, but her face was like her neck was a little bit weird, and I was a kid when I saw this. Okay, her neck was like all weird, and then she would look at me and she would say, "I know you can see me. I know you can see me." Later on, I found out that she had hung herself from that area right there. She was a nurse and she hung herself. She had killed herself. Now, that's one. Okay, I have a lot more, a lot more. And she would always try to talk to me, and I would like stay away from her. And then when we moved to from Houston to Pasadena, I was a kid. I remember I was in the closet when I started, and I was grabbing some sheets. My mom asked me for some sheets, so I went in there and I got the sheets. And I'm tiny. Okay, I'm only 5'2", so I was small. And then I grabbed the sheets. I was trying to bring it to my mom, but since I was little, I kind of dropped it. And when I did drop it, it was just I was just holding on to one piece, and then I saw a woman, and it looked like she had been stabbed on her face, on her chest, her arms, all over, like she had been murdered, and she was rotting, and she was like, "Look at me, look at me. I know you can see me." And I was like, "Oh hell!" Well, I didn't say bad words. I was a little girl. I was like, "Mom, mom, mom, mom." I was like, "Help!" I was like, "Mom." And that is stuff that I would see. I would see the bad things. And the one thing that they always tell me is, "I know you can see me. Why won't you listen to me?" Like, why are you ignoring me? And it's happened that's only two things that happened. I've seen worse things. Um, I actually, uh, oh my God, I'm gonna sound like a lunatic, but I'm not. So, I've I've seen reapers. Okay. For example, one time I was outside in the back in my on my back porch, and I saw it looked like a vortex coming from the bushes right there. And I saw it looked like it's like a shadow, or just like someone. It was not a man, it was like the shadow of a man, but he was almost like solid, almost solid. And all the hairs on the back of my neck, they stood up, and I was like, and I got goosebumps all over. And I had friends over, but I didn't say anything. I just saw him, and I heard him. He was laughing, and he said, "3 days like that." And I swear it hurt my bones and everything. I was like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And then I heard a voice call from the thing, like where he appeared from. And he goes, "I told you, 3 days." It's like, "All right." And the guy was laughing, and he went to the back window of my next door neighbor. Okay, this is a very true story, because that guy would always come over and everything to get
Mm,
cans. Okay, I know it's something ridiculous, but
mm,
the guy would come over, and then exactly 3 days later, um, they came to pick him up to take him somewhere, and he wasn't answering the door. I saw that what I'm calling it a reaper, but he wasn't. He didn't have a that thing, and he wasn't wearing a robe or anything like that. He just looked like a shadow man. Okay, and yeah, he goes, I heard him say 3 days. Exactly 3 days later, they came to pick the man next door up. They found him, and they called the apartment and they said, "Open it up." They opened it up. They found the guy there dead. Okay. Now that I saw that happen, and this was like all in 1 year. Okay. But I had been through something. Okay. I don't even know if I want to say it. I had been in a coma. Okay. something happened to me, and I was in a coma. They didn't think I was gonna make it. So when, I guess you can say, I came back or got out of the coma, however you want to put it, I was able to see things differently. I was always able to see, but this was like stronger. And I remember I saw someone in white, and they went into my mom's window. I saw them. They peeked at me because I was on the porch again, on the back porch. And then I saw them go in my mom's window. Next day, my mom died. And then I was out there again. Okay. And then I saw, I'm saying it like it's nothing, but it's something. Okay. I was out there when I saw something, someone in black, like another shadow man, come out. The one that came from my mom was dressed in white. But this guy, he looked like a shadow man. And I remember seeing him, and I was like, it was weird because it happened on the my next door neighbor on the left, and then it happened in my apartment. And then I remember that I was outside, and I he looked like he was coming straight towards me, like to come into my house. And I don't even know how I did it, what I did, what I just screamed out no like that, but it sounded stronger. I'm saying it like that, but it sounded stronger. And I moved my hand like that to the left, and I felt uh not like I hit him or anything like that, but I just moved. I felt like this energy, and I pushed him to the left. Yeah, I pushed him to the left of me. If I'm facing outside, okay, yeah. I pushed him to the left of me, and he stumbled that way. And then I remember I came to bed the next day. I woke up to hear ambulance and the fire trucks and everything, and I could hear the mother of a little boy, a 17-year-old boy, and she was saying, "He won't wake up. He won't wake up. He won't wake up." And I don't know if that thing was coming to my apartment or not, but I was so bad about that. But I was like no, like that, and I just like it's, I don't know how to explain it. Like I pushed my hand and the thing stumbled. I say the thing because he's not a man. He stumbled and he went in. He I didn't see him anymore, but the especially after I said that and I came straight to bed. But the guy next door to me, a kid, he was 17. He wouldn't wake up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And that was so weird. It all happened in 1 year. I saw all of that happen. So, do I believe in all of that stuff? Of course I do. I've seen too much for it not to be real, for it not to happen. I see a lot. And that a lot of that goes into, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah,
We can hear.
I'm just
Oh,
listening.
Yep.
oh, okay. So a lot of that goes into the books. Like
Oh yeah.
I have seen like I have seen angels, but they don't look like the way we think angels look, okay? They look different. And I have seen them, but it's just a quick blink, it like less than a millisecond, okay? And I've seen four of those, okay? Four of those of the angels. And then but demons, oh yeah, those I have seen. I saw one, and that's a bad thing to let me see. Like you can't be in the room. You're not supposed to be in a room where there's no window, and have all the lights off, because that right there are things that don't have bodies, have never had bodies, have never been alive, and you can see it from your peripheral, like from your peripheral vision. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Okay, you can see it, and you can see things like that. And those things right there, they can do things You know, like I was asleep in a room that had no windows. I had all the lights off. And then I started hearing voices. And I was like, oh shit. And I went and I turned on my lighter. I always carry a lighter with me no matter what. I turned on my lighter because I heard this voice whisper, look under your pillow. So I did. The other voices were saying something else, okay? It was more like, and I was a kid, they were like, come on, Mimi, come play with us. Come play with us. Like that. Sorry, real
It's okay.
creepy. Okay. And I was like, who's there? Who's there? Who is that? When I heard a different type of voice, okay? And they were like, and the different voice was like, look under your pillow, Mimi, like that. And the voices that I was hearing were giving me goosebumps, but the other voice made me feel better. So I reached under my pillow, I pulled out the lighter, and I turned it on. And then my aunt, she goes, don't ever do that again. She goes, don't be sleeping in a room with no windows with all the lights off. She goes, you don't know what can get you. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, sorry, sorry, sorry. And I mean, there's a lot more stuff. I mean, but I think I've taken up a lot of every time. But
It's
no, there's a lot.
it was good.
I,
Yeah. Oh no, keep going. Sorry.
it's all very it's very true. I wouldn't be saying it, especially the way I'm saying it. I'd probably be laughing or something, but I'm not. When I was younger, I used to be afraid of old people because what would happen was I would go to sleep and they would come and they would go to the end of the bed and they would be like, look at me, look at me, look at me, like that. And it wasn't until later that I found out what it was. Okay. There are some people that are born and they have like a light to them. Okay. And those people are, it's on their aura. It has many different names. But when someone dies, they just see darkness or whatever, and everyone's ignoring them. But then they see someone that has some light on them, and they're like, "Hey, I know you can see me. I know you can see me." Like that.
Yeah.
These are people that have not crossed over, either to heaven or anywhere else they may go from different religions, you know,
Mm.
and these people are stuck. They don't know they're dead. And I would get a lot of those people. I no, I never had anyone famous. I never had anyone, you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, this famous person came to me. No, these were people that, were just, oh my God, they looked like they were rotting. Some of them looked fresh. They would be like, I know you can see me. Like, look at me, talk to me. Like that. I would get a lot of that. And knocking on the door and jiggling the handle of the door. Some pretty ugly stuff, okay?
Mm.
And then for some reason or another, we played with the Ouija board. Don't ever do that.
Oh no.
Don't ever do that. I promise you, that is one thing right there. I don't mess with that. I mean, Jordan was sorry. Zither was just telling you right now about the books that we have and how we put the medallion and everything on there. Well, that's different, okay? But the Ouija board, you're actually calling up evil entities to come to you. And everybody thinks it's a joke, but it's not a joke. I would not I wouldn't even go looking or touching or anything because we played with it and then all these bad things started happening. Like real bad things. It was horrible. And it doesn't just go away. You do need to go to a priest or to someone to get exercise, or you need to go to one of those people that they give you the cleansing. Like I'm Mexican, so they call it limpia, you know.
Is that with the
But
egg?
it has to be. No, the egg is actually that is called ojo,
Okay.
and that one is like Okay. For example, like you have something, like you have pretty eyes, or you look good in a dress or something. Someone will look at you and it's jealousy, or they want it, like that. And next thing you know, you got a fever, and you're feeling real sick. You want to throw up, everything. So you get the egg and you say the Lord's Prayer as you rub crosses all over uh the person's body, or you can't do it to yourself. You have to do it to someone. It's mostly done to little kids because somebody will pass by and they'll say, "Oh my God, that little baby's so cute. Look at the blue eyes," like that.
Oh,
And but they and a lot of Mexican parents will say, "Well, touch them, touch their face, because then you're gonna give my baby ojo." It's called the eye, like the evil eye.
oh, okay.
And that's the thing. It happens a lot. That it happened to my little girl because she has long black hair and her eyes are bluish green, and her name is Heaven. So a lot of people would be like, "Oh my God," like this and that, and I would say, can you not, like, or at least touch her right here, because her hair's real thick and long. And it was so funny because she would come up to my mother and she would have the egg and she would be like, "Grandma, Grandma, I feel sick. Can you help me?"
No.
There, I had to say something a little bit different because that was getting dark. But it happens to it. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen an actual real demon. Okay, the real deal, and he wasn't a high up demon either. Okay, I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I saw Lucifer," or "I saw Beelzebub," or anything like that. No, this was someone low, just like probably a small demon, but he was still horrible looking. So I can't imagine what the stronger ones look like. This one was, once I started praying and put the light on, it went away. Well, for the moment, he stuck around for a long time and would do certain things, move stuff around, and just do a lot. I can't say it because it's a lot of bad words, you know.
It's okay.
And he would like, I had this one nightmare, where somebody was calling my name. We lived in a two-story townhouse, and we were on the second floor when I heard someone calling my name, and I stood right there on the stairs, because I was on the third floor, and they were like, "Mimi, Mimi, come here, come here, come here." And I was like, "What? Who's calling me?" And then I saw this cat. It was a black cat. Okay. And it just started walking up and it kind of scared me. I mean, this isn't that scary. It walked up the stairs and then it changed into something else and it bit me on my arm, like where my elbow is. It took a big chunk and I woke up. Not It didn't take like a big chunk, it took a big bite. Okay. It like the mouth got bigger and it went like and it bit me real hard. And I woke up and I was bleeding. I had a bite mark on my left arm. Okay. So that thing was able to do a lot of shit to me. And my aunt was like, "No, you need to do this and this and this." And we tried a lot of different stuff, a lot of it. And this thing, and it wasn't a high ranking demon, mind you. Okay. But it caused a lot of damage to me and to my family. And it would always say, "Oh, I don't want to say the bad words." He would say like, "You effing bitch." He's like, "I'm gonna effing kill you," like that. And well, it was a lot worse. Okay, but it was horrible. I don't recommend anyone to play with the Ouija board. Not ever. They try to make you feel sorry for them, and, and, you invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your house, into your home, and, and, you do. You invite them into your ho And then they come, and next thing you know, you're being tormented. Um, like one time, my mom was like, there's a hallway in where I live right now. There's a long hallway. My mom's room is on one side. Well, sorry, my mom's old room is on one side, and then I'm right across. And then there's a long hallway, and then there's my daughter's bedroom at the very end. And my door was closed, and my daughter was in her bedroom when she saw. I used to have blonde hair. I'm a brunette now, and then look, I look like I do in the picture. So then it looked like I poked my head out. Okay, but I didn't poke my head out. And she was like, "Oh, she's like, is that mommy?" And then she goes, "Wait a minute, mommy has blonde hair. That's not my mom. That thing had black hair. It was like a shadow person." And but it was so creepy. Like the stuff has happened here as well.
When you mentioned the
To
cat, I'm sorry, my brain just went to like kitty. Like just imagine me
oh
picking
my
it up, like, oh my god, I love the kitty, and the demon being like,
oh my
please let me
god,
go. I'm like,
you
no,
wouldn't.
I love you. You're gonna be my kitty forever. Sorry, that's what I imagined.
Oh my god. No,
Okay.
that cat turned ugly. Like it became something else. Once it reached me, I thought, oh, just kitty cat, whatever. But once it reached the top step, it got me. Another thing that I don't really like around me is mirrors.
Ooh, yes.
I remember I went to the bathroom. I was looking in the mirror. I was just like looking, checking my makeup, and that's it. But I could see behind me, and there was like a space, like a long space. And then what do you call it? I saw something. I looked, right. I looked because I thought I saw a little dot on the mirror, and so I looked behind me, and there was nothing there. Oh, sorry, I'm not mentioning the fact that it was the mirror was on one wall, but it was like three mirrors. Okay, one on the left side, one on the right side, and one in the middle. And I was using the one that was facing the bathtub, and there was like a little hall almost, right.
Mhm.
And then I saw something. It looked like it was in the bathtub, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And I turned around and I looked, and there was absolutely nothing. And I turned and I looked back in the mirror, and I see this thing coming towards me. It looked like a burned man, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I turned back around, right, and then I couldn't see anything. I could only see them through the mirrors, because some demons travel through mirrors, but they still get you. They still get you. It don't matter. You have to be protected. Like, that one was horrible.
You've
I
had
remember that one. I ran out of the bathroom because it was getting closer and closer to me.
you've had quite a
And
lot. Oh, sorry. Keep going. Sorry.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. No, please.
I
You
was
were saying?
I was like, you've had so many encounters, and a lot of them sound very negative. And Zithro had this really wholesome one
Oh,
by
well,
comparison.
do you want me? I'm only giving you like some of them. I haven't given you like all of them. Because there's so many. There's like so many. I can give you like just three this week, like that. They're bad, and oh my god, and it'll be something crazy like oh, somebody moved the water bottle things, and I tripped over it, and I fell and I hit my head like that, and but there's nobody in the house except me. That's so weird. I think it's where I live. A lot of people that used to live in this apartment, they move out. They moved out. They said, I used to live in that apartment. But yeah, that apartment, it's haunted. I had a friend come over to check it out. This person does those things,
Mm.
the limpias, as you call it, came to cleanse the house, and he said, "Oh, I know what happened here. What happened was Excuse me. Let me take a drink of water.
It's all good. It's a sippy sip, as we say at this stream. Good.
Yep. Oh my god, am I boring everyone?
No, I'm listening. I think everyone else seems interested too. There's been some chat in there's some chat in the chat. there's some discussion in the chat.
Oh yes, the floor is made of floor.
Okay.
I've actually written that line, something line like that sometime.
When my friend came, he said, someone was murdered in this apartment. I've met like about four people that used to live in this apartment because I've gotten their mail, and I'm like, and then they're like, oh hey, did you get any mail? Any of my mail? Whatever. I'm like, oh, you're so and so. I check their ID, you know. And I'm like, here you go. Here's your mail. I go, you used to live here? They're like, yeah, we moved out. That place is haunted. They're like, fuck that. We ain't staying there. I don't know how you could take it. And I'm like, oh shit. So I had my friend come over, and he goes, yeah, this guy lived here. He doesn't know he's dead. That's why he says it's his place, that you need to get out. You know, he doesn't want you here. And I was like, he ain't paying no rent. I was like, shit. It's just me. He's like, I make jokes. But you know.
I could just imagine it starting. I was like, you owe me rent. Come on. Pay up.
I know. I'm like, I have this one dude. This one dude says, I'd rather have a ghost live here than an actual roommate. And I'm like, no, you don't, because that thing, I don't even like talking about it. I shouldn't, because it's horrible. It's ugly. They go through the doors, but they go through the doors. They don't open the doors. One time, I saw somebody come into my bedroom, and I was like, what the hell? I said, who went in there? Who's going into my bedroom? And I opened the door, and it's not a very big bedroom, but I have a king size bed, and let me see, like a dresser drawer thing with a mirror, and I have a little table right there. My TV's hung up right there on the side of the wall, and I saw somebody come in here, and then when I opened the door, actually, that's not what happened. I tried to open the door because I saw them come into my bedroom. I thought, oh, it's like one of my daughter's friends or one of my niece's friends, something. And then I tried to open my bedroom door because they closed it. It just went like that. Ooh. I was like, all right, who the hell was it? Like that. I started screaming like that. And then I was like, who was it? Who was it? Come on, give it up. You know, I'm going to kick your ass anyway. Like that. I just talked like that. And then I tried to open the door, and I could feel someone pushing against the door. And like not letting me in. I was trying to move the door handle, and they were holding it like that. They didn't lock the door. Okay, that is one distinction I'll make. They did not lock the door, but I could feel like a body being like someone was pushing their body against the door. Okay, and they were holding the door handle so that I couldn't, when I was trying to shake it and turn it. So I got really mad, and I said, who the hell is in there? Why won't you let me in my room? I said, who was it? Who was it? I said, one of your little friends came in here. They're in my bedroom. I was telling my niece and my little girl that. And they were like, what? They're like, we don't have anybody here. I said, yes, look. I said, look. And then when I went to go open the door, I was like pushing hard, right? But I couldn't move the door handle, so that I couldn't move it. And then, because it was holding, whoever it was holding it. Now, mind you, somebody could have snuck in through the window. I don't see how when I saw him go through my door. But, you know, no, that didn't happen. They went in through my door. I saw them because they closed the door in my face. And that really pissed me off. And then they were shoving their body like against the door and not allowing me to move the handle. And then I was like, what the fuck? Who's in there? They're like, we don't have anybody here. They're in my bedroom. I said, what the hell? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my bedroom? I said, what are you doing in my Like, get out of my room. What are you trying to take from me? This and that. And I thought it was a real person. And then I started screaming. I was like, "Hey, Winter!" I said, "Who did you allow in the house?" I was like, "Who's in here?" Look. And then I went for the door again, but I was still right there in the hallway, so nobody went in or went out, nothing like that. And I said, "Look, I can't even get in." And then when I hit the door like that, I hit it real hard,
Mm,
like with my elbow.
yeah.
Okay, like because I couldn't do anything with the door handle. It wasn't movable, and I thought I would just hit it, and that's it. And then when I hit it, the door opened, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I look, and on my bed, I started from the floor up. I started looking like, "What the hell? How did that open? Where are they?" And then I saw someone sitting on my bed, and I could see their shoes to their legs, and then I didn't see any more because I ran the hell out. I said, "Oh, get the hell out of here!" I said, "Uh-uh." I said, "No." I was like, "No, ain't no guys in here." It looked like a guy. So I was like, "No, it couldn't have been a guy." So the moment I saw that it looked like a guy, I got so scared I didn't bother to look past the top of the pants where like where that would be the
Mm.
hips, but I could see him sitting, not cross-legged or anything like that, sitting on my bed. I didn't stop to look at anything else. I just looked at the feet. I looked up. I noticed. I said, "That's an adult." I
Oh
said, "I don't have
damn.
no adults here." I was like, "Oh fuck that!" I ran out and I went to go get the holy water. And I started when I came back, there was nothing in here. I still used the holy water. That was scary. Oh my god, that was bad.
Oh, that.
Mm.
You've had so
And
many
my
experiences. I can see why you put them all into like stories and things.
I do that, and that's where Zithro and I we that's how we connect. One of the ways that we connect, because I'll tell, like, I haven't said some of the more important things that have happened. I've only told you like some of the things that happened. I haven't said the ones that were really really bad. Like,
Yes. Well,
should I say it? Or is it
no,
is
no,
it break
those,
time?
those,
Okay,
those.
okay,
I
I'll
think we
keep
can leave
going.
on. Yes.
Okay, whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
Um.
okay, we'll leave that for the book.
Yes.
Look, those are the ones that we leave for the books,
It's.
and there's a lot of stories like that in there because of the stuff that, like I said, I've been through a lot. My life is crazy, and it's to each their own. If they want to believe it or not, it's okay. It doesn't bother me. I know what I saw, and I've only even just said a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just it's just. Wait, let me think of a wholesome one. Hold on.
So
Let
we're
me try to think of one.
Wait.
Or do we have a break coming?
no, we're gonna be wrapping up soon because my back is
Oh,
really
okay.
starting to hurt.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
It's
And
okay.
I'm okay.
It's okay.
Oh my God, what a bad note to leave off on. Don't get Ouija board. Be careful. Use the egg. If you have any problems, hit me up. I'm Heaven Sammy. I can tell you some of the things to do. Like, to save you from always sleep with one light on. Don't be a chicken. Don't let anyone tell you you're a chicken because you have a nightlight. Always have a light on. Because if you think you hear voices, it's the voices. Trust me. They're out there. Those things are out there. You'll know. It's not. You'll know that it's something else. It's coming from somewhere else.
That's right.
Those that are there
I like
were coming
darkness when I'm
from.
sleeping.
Oh well, darkness is fine. Just have a little bit of light, or have a lighter on you, or something. Just do
I am
that.
the light. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Yes.
kidding. But does anyone
Oh my God.
does anyone have any final questions or comments for my dear guests? Also, guest, do you have any sort of final comments and things you'd like to tell the chat? And also all the other lurkers and viewers who'll be watching later on?
Well, I'll just say our hopefully the first, I'm going to say the first of many books that we've got published is available, and we had a blast. So that's really what is that. I was hyping. My anxiety was kicking in prior to us getting into this interview, but I very much enjoyed every bit of it. So it was a blast.
Hell yeah, I'm happy you
Yes.
both had a good time.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I did. Sorry, I went into the darkness, guys. Sorry, but hey, I'm light and dark, okay?
Look, it's okay.
Okay, but
Like,
just know it's all true. And some people are probably gonna be like, "Hey, I saw something like that. Hit me up. Heaven sent me on Reddit. I'll help you through it. I'll tell you which candles you need."
That's right.
Lauren asks, Halloween ghost stories when?
Halloween.
Oh, oh my God! If I could do that. I just think that people wouldn't like it, but I could do that.
Nice.
One of the stories that we did,
Oh,
it was one of my nightmares.
Akasa Castle, right?
And I've never been there. I've never seen it before. And I remember going to this place. I thought everywhere over there that you needed to get euros. And then the taxi cab driver was like, "No, you need rubles," or he said or something like that. And I told Zithero about it. And I told him, "Look," I said, "all these they look like mannequins." I said, "And there's a like a skeleton." I said, "It's like a castle or something. It has two clocks." I said, "I've never been there. I've never seen this." And I described everything to him. And I told him everything. And then he goes, "Oh my God." He goes, "Look, this is where you went to." And I was like, "That's it. That's it right there." It was that was like so creepy. Having, because I don't know, some people, they can do that, like it's like astral projection. Okay. And okay, yeah, it has happened to me before. I don't want to say like, "Oh yeah, I can go anywhere." No, that's not true. I don't remember what was going on, but that happened to me, and I went to this one place, and I had never seen. I don't even know what it's called, but there was these two big faces, and they were talking. I remember they were like
Mm,
on the ground, like somewhere. I don't know where it was, but I
she,
told Zithro all about it, and he was the one,
it,
and we did a story on it.
yes,
Yes.
it was Haska Castle in Prague, in the Czech Republic, and even down to the faces on the way there from Prague over. There are these large stone faces lining the road on the way there. It was eerie how accurate she was, having never been there. So yeah, we wrote a story on that.
Yeah, it didn't get like real popular or nothing like that. But here's the thing: that story, it like I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say, "Oh, I dreamed of it like that." No, that was a freaking nightmare, man. And I was there, and there was something in there hiding. That place must be haunted. I'm drawn to those types of places,
Maybe the
and
places are drawn to you.
Ah,
yeah,
oh,
something
like
like
that.
that. I saw
Are
these
you
voices that
Zithra? Are
came
you there
out.
with a little notepad, being like, "That sounds
Oh,
I'm kidding.
I've. If you think I haven't been jotting down every little thing here, you're very wrong. It's a few. I'm like, there's his uniform. Okay. Yep.
I always tell
Nice.
him, "You hear me? You understand me? You hear me? You understand me?" I always say that, and he's the one that figures it out where it is that I go.
Yep. She'll
And
tell me
because I was
everything,
like,
and then I'll research it and go, "Oh, this was this castle," and she's like, "It was not." I'll show her some pictures. She goes, "Oh, that was it."
I'm
Nice.
like, "Oh shit!" I go, "No, those are people." I go, "It was a skeleton in there."
Like, well, this
And
one,
then
and oh, yep, there it is.
I go there. I said there was two clocks like that, and it's so weird. like a lot of the stories that we do have, there is a lot of stuff that has really happened. I know maybe earlier it sounded like I meant like, oh, someone died, so I threw all the despair in there. But you see, there was other things that happened as well. Um,
But
mm,
it's okay. Like no,
Yeah.
like we
there's-
have to wrap soon.
okay.
We're
Yes.
going to be like
Yes.
the people who end up saying goodbye for like 5 hours.
Oh
Yes.
my God, I'm sorry, everyone. I
That's
didn't
you.
mean to keep you up forever.
That's you. No,
That's
Wait, no, I started off all shy, and then I got like, no, hey man, I saw this lady. She hung herself. Her neck was all crooked. I'm like,
I like how you refer to that as shy.
yes.
I know. Oh my God. Can you imagine poor
Um,
Zithero when he has to go through listening to all this creepy stuff? Poor
I've
guy,
written
man. I feel
several.
bad.
It's okay. We have a book published, and we've written several works over it. I'm fine with it.
would you two be willing to come on again? I like how I'm putting you on the spot for that too, by the way. It's like,
I'm.
Yeah.
would you? Am I calling
I
up-
would happily come back if invited. If we're allowed to come back,
If
I
we're-
happily would come back.
No, after I talked to him,
Are we
I'm
allowed?
I just whenever I am
like,
whenever I ask guests, would you be willing to come back on? I always like point a finger gun at the screen when I'm asking. One day I'm gonna take a photo of me doing it and be like, "Are you gonna come back? Are you?"
I mean,
Anytime
I
you'd
might
like
come
us
back.
to, I would
I-
happily come back. This was blessed.
Excellent.
I won't say the scary stories and bore everyone. Okay, how's that? I'll
I
just say
I don't
funny
think
ones.
anyone was bored.
I think people enjoyed them. Like people in the comments were saying
Yes.
that they liked it. So
Oh,
Yes.
we can
okay.
save more stories for the next stream.
Oh, I
Yes.
have a lot of those. Oh my God,
Oh,
I've only
that's-
given
that
you
sounds
guys.
good.
I was just doing like little. What's the term? I was just saying
Snippets.
the little things that happen, not the big things that happen. Oh, the
Well, for
big. Okay,
next-
if
for
you read
next
the stories
time.
in the Guardian Temple, ooh, you'll be able to know exactly what was the name of that one.
That was the
with-
Hoska Castle. Hoska Castle.
the Hospital Castle. Okay, that one.
Yes, the
Oh,
horror
of
of
course,
Hoska Castle.
they had they were ugly,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh,
I
yeah.
have the stories that I said tonight are very light compared to. I tried to be wholesome, like
It's okay.
like Zithero. I tried. I really
Uh-huh.
did. I tried. That was my best, you guys. Give me a break.
I'm
Well-
just shamelessly plugging some of the links. There's more in the description below. Viewers who are viewing this after the stream, so definitely check out the book. And like, if you want to support them, like, why not buy the book?
Why not?
Why not?
Well, thank you for
Or
having us,
Patreon.
ladies.
It was my
Yes,
pleasure.
or join our or Patreon. We do have a Patreon as well. But it was thank you very much.
Oh wait, hang on, I need to post that one too. Hang on.
Up, go for it.
I like how we have to go, and then I start talking too.
Oh, wait. In the comments to leave if they've ever seen anything like the stuff that I mentioned. How's that?
Ooh, that's a good
You
one.
know, and if they want to hear the other stuff that I've seen, or if they just want to hear me tell jokes, I could do either. And they shall become.
And also,
Everybody got real quiet. Y'all two got real quiet when I started saying that. I was like, "Are you guys there? Hello? Hello?" Oh, that's stupid.
Who were listening?
Yeah, we were listening. All right, it was
Yeah,
it was my pleasure having you both.
what night, huh?
Yes. It was a blast.
Okay, check out their links, get in touch with them, join their subreddit, buy the book, all of that. I want to talk more, as you could tell, but like my back's there going, we have to end this. I need a new
That's
chair.
okay. We'll come back.
We'll happily come back again.
All right, excellent.
Yes, we will.
No finger
We
gun
will.
required.
No finger gun required. No.
As you can tell, and I won't be shy this time. I'll tell the real scary ones. Okay, everybody.
Okay.
We have such different definitions of shy. Anyway, stay safe, my little spooklings.
Thank you for
And remember,
thank you
Thank
for having me.
you're interrupting
Thank
my
you for putting up
outro.
with my
Say-
Say, okay, both of you say goodbye so I can do my outro afterwards.
Farewell.
Okay.
Farewell.
Bye,
Farewell.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe, my little spooklings. And remember, I'll be watching you.